Welcome, chat.
Didn't feel that. No!
Oh, quick bio break.
Oh!
Oh my God.
Oh! Whoa! That'll wake you up in the morning, baby. Guys, I can tell you right now.
Guys are so
ready for
nuts.
baseball. This is
Boys.
watermelon hail.
Doesn't look like it may not be on the ground right now, so Dick Worsham. Dude, I can't. I just can't with that name.
Oh!
10,000.
No!
10,001. 2. It just keeps going. It's like a clock.
How are you doing tonight, Phoenix of the Gods?
Doing good.
Oh my. Not what I was saying.
Hello, chat. Oh yeah, looks like it's starting to rope out a little bit, Edgar. This is crazy.
Wow! Look at that!
At Angela Holmes 927 super chatted $6.78. Well done, guys. Love from
I can't
me.
even with this right now, guys. Like, what is this? Brad is out front. Brad is taking a strong lead. Here comes number 7, right at the side. Number 1, number 14 are making a push. Number 7. Oh my God! Number 9 is going down to the edge. Oh my goodness! Wow.
Oh my God, dude. Like, oh. Okay, here we go.
Hey, who's this girl in the back, bro? She's just sitting here, just hadn't said a dang word, just staring at us.
That's my girlfriend.
Oh,
Dave, hold your mic button down.
What's up?
wait, what's your username? Hold on. Was that Lactatia? Here we go, chat.
It's Letitia.
Let it build. Let's get the hype going in the chat. Let's go. Count it down. And now,
3, 2,
1,
go!
Ah! Let's go! All right, we're rocking it here. We're starting it.
The following program is a production of the Stormfront Freaks Network.
Where am I? What is this place? It's so dark. Oh, what is that sound? Ah! This is the Big Weather Show! Oh! I'm your host, Stormcat5. That is absolutely insane. We're going to talk about the biggest stories in weather. That is a massive debris ball. And who knows what we're going to say. Was that Lactatia?
It's Letitia.
So strap in, buckle up. The Big Weather Show starts in 10. Count it down, 9, chat. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. Uh-oh. Chat, welcome. I have to look at my watch at the start of every show. to know what day it is. TGWF. Thank God it's Wednesday. Are you kidding me, guys? It is Wednesday, January 28th. And we just had one of the most epic snowstorms, one of the most catastrophic ice storms in recent memory. And Mississippi and Louisiana and Texas and Tennessee are still dealing with the consequences, are still dealing with the power outages of that massive ice storm. In Ohio, in Indiana, in Pennsylvania, in the Northeast, in Boston, we're still digging out. Literally yesterday, I shoveled 10 different driveways around my neighborhood because we are still digging out from this snow. I got 15 inches. We had 15 to 20 inches in the Northeast. I told you someone was going to get 18 inches, and someone did. We got close to it here in Ohio. It was unbelievable. It was epic. We are going to take a look at all your photos. So if you went on our Discord, go to our Discord in the on-stream pictures channel. Post your pictures. I want to see your snowfall totals. We're going to talk about that storm. But we also are going to talk about this storm. Maybe not that one. It's looping here. This storm right... Hold on. Let's get right... Oh, no. It's stuck in a loop. I hit the wrong button. This storm is going to be coming up, and it potentially could be stronger than the last one. I'm talking about a bomb cyclone, a nor'easter. Look at that. It's starting to form there on the radar. This could be a big-time storm, but the impacts are highly dependent on the storm track, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. We got Stu, we got John, we got Aaron, all backstage. We're going to bring all of them in just a second here. But this is the Big Weather Show, and this is the Cat 5 Command Center. And right now, it's still snowing outside the Cat 5 Command Center. This is why we're here, guys. Let me show you, just giving you a high level. And we're going to dig into the details, all those details in just a second. See this right in there. That big storm off the Carolina coastline. That is what we're talking about. And that is what we're tracking this week. And it potentially could drop a massive swath of snow from the Carolinas up to the Northeast.
Super chatted $4.99.
Oh my.
Brady, what in God's name do I have to do to get you to wear a green shirt? Pee pee poo poo pee pee poo poo pee. I'm getting all 150 characters in AA.
Okay. W. Patterson is starting the stream off. W's in chat for Patterson is starting the stream off in a chalked manner. By the way, chat, I now have text-to-speech for my PayPal, which you can tip me below. If you tip me, it will do text-to-speech as well. And when you tip me, I keep all of it because YouTube keeps half of it when you do this. Massive W for our Peterson. So that storm, that's what we're talking about today. And it will be epic. I can promise you that. At the bare minimum, we're talking about very, very gusty winds here, guys. Extremely gusty winds. This is a classic nor'easter, guys. The impacts will be classic. Even if you don't get snow, you are going to get winds up and down the East Coast, big time surf, beach erosion, the whole shebang for this storm. That's going to happen no matter what. All right, we're going to bring our people today. We got a couple of epic guests joining us today. First of all, we're going to bring in both Aaron Rigsby and John Banghoff. And John is at AMS down in where, Houston right now, John?
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? I'm live from the Weatherfront booth. We're hanging out with people, a lot of meteorologists here this week, and it's been a heck of a time.
Wow, that is epic. He sent me a picture with Reed down there. So you and Brother Reed are having a good time together. Yeah,
Reed was here for a talk, and I stopped by, and he's like, "Oh, what's up, Weatherfront?" I got a selfie, and it's fun, having a good time in Houston this week.
That's epic. Well, glad to have you here, Brother John. And we also got to bring in Brother Aaron. Aaron, first of all, you are just recovering from an insane stretch of weather. We had last week was insane. You were down in Mississippi, right? Covering this unbelievable ice storm. Give us an idea. What was that like?
Well, for starters, it was exhausting because I flew down to Oklahoma for 3 days to go to a wedding, and the storm popped up. So I had to go right from the wedding in Houston, back up to Oklahoma City, get a rental car, drive from Oklahoma City to Mississippi, document the prep in Mississippi, ended up throwing a Hail Mary, covering the snow in Ohio, turned around, came down to Nashville to cover the power outages and cold, and then ended up in Mississippi again.
You know, I'll be honest, I don't think you did enough travel there. I think you probably could have done a little bit more. I really
Well,
do.
it's not over yet. I got to hop a flight tomorrow over to North Carolina, so.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I gotta say too, there's a lot of Ohioans, a lot of Buckeyes on the stream right now.
That's right,
Aaron. I feel like we were probably like Ohio State Severe Weather Symposia years past when you were just getting your start with everything. So good to see you getting a lot of Buckeyes in the house right now.
That's right,
yeah, baby. Go Buckeyes for life.
Let's
chat, we got any Buckeyes in chat? Let me know in chat if you're a Buckeye here. It's just unbelievable. So Aaron, just for a quick sec, because we are going to talk about the storm to come, but I do want to talk about the storm that just happened. First of all, John, were you able to you were clearly able to fly through it all.
It was so wild. Real quick as well, I just want to, we got Chip Sattler here. He's got our next door booth, another Buckeye. So there's we could probably do like a nice OHIO right now on the stream or something like that. That would be pretty.
All
right.
Where do we go?
Do the H. I don't know how to do the I while I'm holding my phone. We'll go like this.
Yeah, someone took a screenshot of that right there, baby. Let's go. All right.
That's so good.
Wow.
All right, that's incredible. So it was wild. I was supposed to fly out of Baltimore at 8 a.m. on Sunday, direct to Houston. And anybody watching the storms knows that was not possible. So I moved it up to fly to State College where I live on Saturday. That flight was delayed 4 hours. Missed my layover in Chicago, but finally got in 1:30, I think, on Sunday morning. I was just so glad to get out of State College. In terms of if I got stuck there, it'd probably be Tuesday before I got in. So yeah. We're here.
Wow.
We actually didn't get any ice in Houston, thankfully, but I chuckled a little bit on Monday. It was 35 and sunny, which for Pennsylvania standards is a gorgeous January day, and the whole city was shut down.
Wow.
The reason because they preemptively shut everything down Friday. So I think it got up to 55 today here. So got to enjoy a little bit of warmth. But yeah, it was crazy traveling and getting home Friday. Hopefully it'll be a little simpler before the storm comes in Saturday into Sunday.
Yeah, that's the hope. I tell you what, guys, this storm that we just had. First of all, we are still digging out here in Ohio. Aaron, you were in Ohio. You were everywhere. And I tell you what, if you're anywhere above, north of Houston, you are getting ridiculously cold temperatures right now. I mean, our temperatures in Columbus, I think, were in the 40, in the -7 was our high this morning. It was our low temperature this morning was literally -7, wind chill of -22. Last night, I went outside and I was because I was clearing my, my vent in my house, which you're supposed to do when you get a foot of snow. I didn't know that because it's the first condo I've owned. And I literally almost got hypothermia. It was so freaking cold. And it's going to continue to be that way for the next week here. And just wanted to quickly show this for all the Ohio people in the chat. If you are in Ohio, Friday night, this is actual temperatures, -14. -14. It's unbelievable the cold we are going to see. I was going to go pond skating on Saturday morning. Saturday morning could be even colder. We're talking about potentially by the time we wake up Saturday morning, temperatures will be below 0. I mean, almost for the whole day. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So we'll come back and talk about that. Aaron, I want to talk to you now. First of all, can I show one or two of your pictures on Twitter?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So I want to talk to Aaron about the ice storm here, because these are some of the photos that we saw from this historic ice storm. I think it's safe to say that at this point, right, Aaron?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll tell you, this snowstorm was one of the most versatile snowstorms I've ever seen, with how much coverage and how much it had to offer. Because even when I drove up from Mississippi at the start of the ice storm, it was freezing rain, sleet, back to freezing rain, back over to snow, and pretty much snow all from the get-go. And there was even a tornado watch with this same storm system at one point. And the interesting thing about that ice storm is that it was the areas that got the severity of it to this caliber were so spotty, but the areas that did get it were just absolutely crippled. That was one thing that stood out the most about that ice storm.
Yeah, this picture, guys, this is from Aaron, by the way. This is over on Aaron's Twitter page, so make sure you go over on Aaron's Twitter page, smash his like button, and smash this retweet button. This looks fake. It looks so stupid, ridiculous, insane that, this looks like AI, and it's not, guys. And I can tell you right now, this is what a crippling ice storm looks like. This is what, when us meteorologists say crippling, I had so many people so many people emerge from the woodwork of the bowels of social media and be like, crippling? What do you mean? You're just hyping it up. I'm like, okay. What does this look like to you?
Looks pretty crippled to me.
There is still 400,000 power outages, guys, days after an unbelievable ice storm hit. These people, imagine if you're down there, Aaron, talk to us about what these people are doing, because they don't have power. How are they staying warm? It's in the teens down there.
Well, I just want to start off too by saying that there are still people stuck on I-55 right now. There's like a whole line of semis and vehicles that have been stuck since yesterday evening. Because I was even driving on that. I think that yesterday morning, and it was like a bumpy ice skating rink, and nobody was on it. But then when the work week came around, all the semis came unloaded on there, and all that red there are the semis that have been stuck for going on, I think, the better half of 24 hours now on both of those interstates. Even someone on my Facebook page commented that they'd been stuck on Highway 22 for going on, I believe it was like a day and a half now. I don't know what happened with that, who dropped the ball on what, but that just goes to, again, verify what you were talking about, crippling ice storm. And you throw in the cold weather on top of that, there's only so much people can do in Nashville, where they got hit hard as well. They were opening up shelters, but the shelters were being overwhelmed because of how many power outages there were.
That is insane to me that we are still, I saw something about this here, guys. We still have people stuck on I-55 here. That is the air temperature right now. Let me see what it is. I'm very curious. The air temperature down there in Mississippi is in the 20s. And we have people that are still, these are actual temperatures. These are, the temperatures that we're looking at right now, 25, 28. This was a model, but it gives you a general idea. Actually, it's probably colder now because this is around 6 p.m. 24 right now. And these people are still stuck on that freeway. I'm trying to get a traffic cam from there because I'm curious if I can see this. But I guess, Aaron, in terms of ice storms, where does this, have you ever covered a storm like this before?
I haven't covered one this significant since 2020 in Oklahoma City. This is definitely one of the crazier ones that I've documented, especially over such a populated area like Oxford, because everywhere else around, it's very spotty where that significance is. So not only, did this ice storm occur over a very densely populated area, it went over a college town, because this is the home to Ole Miss, and there's a major interstate artery that we've been talking about. So this definitely is in a top 3 ice storm for me, for sure.
What I should have asked you if I can show that. What is that? What's happening here?
So what happens with that is the result of driving entirely too fast when the conditions are icy. So what happened was all these vehicles spun off, collided with each other at different times. And I just happened to pull up because I thought that this was an old accident. And so I saw everybody standing off to the side. So I parked off to the side, put my drone up, and there was only one fire EMS that was there. And I think he turned around to go try and block traffic. But in the time that he turned around, that car, because traffic wasn't slowing down, that car was coming in way too quick. And at the bottom of that hill, you can kind of see the pavement grooves, and you can go a decent speed. But when you get to the bottom of that hill, it's completely covered in ice. So these people that were tapping their brakes at the bottom of that hill, as soon as they tapped their brakes, they went sliding out of control, and all of them ended up at the same spot. And I honestly could not believe that I caught that on my drone.
That is, guys, this is also over on Aaron's Twitter, and I'm assuming, Aaron, you're probably going to upload the full, because this is just a small clip, guys. If you want to watch the full video, you got to go watch on his Twitter. One of our mods, maybe if you could link that in the chat, that specific post over on Aaron's Twitter. This is insane, guys. This is what we mean when we say catastrophic ice and undrivable roads. Car after car here. This is like the 7th car that this happened to. And it just kept happening, and people are running. And I mean, Aaron, this is just crazy. At a certain point, it's just shut down the roads.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what they were like trying to do. But since the ice storm passed, I think everyone just assumed that everything was okay and they could go out wherever they wanted. And that was
No.
the result of that. That's part of why I came back down to Mississippi, because I knew that people were going to start, meandering out of there. And I was trying to cover stories of like the power outages and the cold coming down there. And this is why I got out there early, because these are the effects that people don't think of after a storm passes. They think of these things happening during it. But I shot this 3 days after the storm. We're going on day four, carrying into day 5 tomorrow. After this ice storm, there's people still stuck on the interstate.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And if you look on Google Maps, I'm actually trying to find where this is. Okay, it's in northern. It's just south of Memphis here that we have this closure. I'm trying to find a traffic cam here. I think
there
the
were
traffic
ones earlier on MDOT. I don't know if it was still or what the exact link is, but there's people pulling screenshots from MDOT.
Yeah, here's I'll get the cameras here. It seems like, have they shut off the cameras? They might have shut off all of these cameras. Because
that's weird, because there's definitely cameras there.
Yeah, I honestly, that's a little sketchy to me. If they're shutting off cameras, that means something's not right here.
They brought in the National Guard to get people out of vehicles that were stuck. There's literally the National Guard is there getting people out of vehicles because people keep running out of gas. That's crazy. I know exactly where that is. It's between Batesville and the town to go off to the 6 to Oxford. There's nothing in between there. The people that are on there, they're stuck there. The only exits are in Batesville to the north and that other exit to the south to go on 6 to Oxford.
Wow. Yeah, that to me is a little sketchy, guys, of like, did they shut these cameras down because there's something not good happening there, right? Like, there should be traffic cameras in this region. Absolutely.
If you go to Jesse Farrell's Facebook, I want to say, he has screenshots from it. JESSEFERRELL.
Okay. I probably won't show it just because I don't have permission from him, but
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that without asking him. But this is sketchy here, guys. These traffic cameras, I was hoping to give you guys a visual, but they're not on. They're normally our traffic cameras here, and the fact that these are the only ones in the state that aren't working right along the freeway, that's a little suspect. But it's not a good situation. Not a good situation at all. And Aaron, talk to us about the snow side of this, because you also went to Columbus. And John, I'm sorry you weren't there for that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'm rubbing it in. I'm sorry.
What wasn't I there for? I'm sorry. I missed it. I was having a little
snowstorm.
So I'm actually okay with it. Like, I'm kind of ready for like mowing grass in spring, to be honest. I'm looking at the forecast. We've been showing people, all the features of weather for this week, and I'm looking at like the GFS temperature plot and seeing that it's going to be another week and a half until we hit freezing. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm flying in like midnight Friday night into State College, and you're saying it's going to be like minus 15 or something.
Yep.
So it's okay. You can talk about the snowstorm. I got some pictures. My kiddo had a good time playing out in it, but I'm sure there's going to be others that are snowy. This year.
Yeah, totally agree. We'll get some more. We'll get another storm or two.
Will. Yeah.
Aaron, talk about, because you were in my hometown. You were in your hometown. You were in Columbus, Ohio, and which kind of was the epicenter of the snow, at least in the Ohio Valley. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so that was a big Hail Mary play on my end. I was fully committed to the ice storm, but the way that the models kept uptrending on snowfall so close to time, I have a little bit of bias toward being in my home state, especially for historical events. Not every snowstorm, but when we're talking about, 12 to 15 inches of snow in Ohio, like, I know what that can do. And I just from a personal perspective, I really wanted to be up there for that. But man, you want to talk about total and utter chaos. I mean, I have not seen in my chasing career that significant of impacts from snowfall in Columbus ever. And I've been chasing for 15 years. And during the same snowstorm, the first ever level 3 snow emergency was issued for Franklin County. And for those that don't know what that means all vehicles are essentially banned off of the roadway unless you are emergency EMS or an essential worker. And first time in city's history that has ever officially been issued. And that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy to see. How Coda bus is getting stuck, cop cars getting stuck, semis getting stuck all over the place. I mean, the city when I left 2 days ago was still littered with vehicles just all over the roadway, like just abandoned.
100%. Yeah.
I'll say too, I was texting my dad a little bit. So my parents live in Grove City, and he was saying he drove out in it, I think to go pick up my niece or something. But he said it was the worst road conditions he's ever experienced in Columbus as well. So it just corroborates the idea that, yeah, pretty intense snow and really bad conditions out there.
Absolutely. I took it, and Stu, I'm going to ask you about your measurement here in a second. But I was, so Connor picked me up. I was so happy because it was like being out in it is just a different animal, right? Like sitting in a studio watching, on the radar, it's kind of lame, I'll be honest. Watching snow fall on the radar when it's falling right outside your window. It's like, just get out in it. Connor picked me up. We were driving on Columbus all day, and Aaron, just like you were, it was unbelievable. I mean, it was just like this isn't the first time we've gotten a foot plus of snow, but it was like it's the first time we've gotten in over almost 2 decades, right? And so people had forgotten about what that kind of snow means. I can't tell you how many people just in a matter of like 2 hours, how many cars that we pushed, how many cars that we tried to push. There was that one car of that just like his engine was like, catching on fire because he just kept spinning his wheels. And we had to leave him because we pushed him out 4 times.
Brady, not to interrupt you, but it looks like I was mistaken. The traffic cameras are on I-22, same situation there, but they are up. I just pulled them up. If you want to end up showing those, just to let you know.
All right. Yeah, I'll pull that up.
But they're still there though.
Yeah, that's crazy. So looking at the snow that fell, guys, across the country, it was historic. And we are going to talk about the storm. I promise you guys, hang around if you are wanting to talk about the storm upcoming. We are going to be talking about that. I promise you. I'm kind of buying a little bit of time here for some more models to come out too. So we've got the 18Z GFS, the 18Z Euro, and then the 18Z NAM. Also, I think the NAM's already out, but some of the models are going to be coming out. So I'm kind of buying a little bit of time for those newest models to see if we have any changes here. This was the snow, guys. And I tell you what, we were talking about it for up to a week before that a significant winter storm was going to fall here, and we had snow amounts, just ludicrous snow amounts here. And by far, let me just zoom out and show you the biggest strip of snow. And let me pull up my drawing tool here. It was right in here. Basically, yikes, was right in, right through the Ohio Valley, right through central Ohio, and then it continued in places like Boston, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont. They just got absolutely crushed. The bullseye, just like I had thought, was right here up in the Northeast. Right in here. That's where the heaviest snow fell. Kelsey, if you're in chat, I'm sorry. You got cooked with snow. They got almost 2 feet of snow, and they've been, if we have any Northeast brother in the chat, you know how long it's been since we've gotten a snow like this. In Ohio, we had places like Columbus get 11, 12, 13, 14. And Stu, you said you measured 17 here?
Yeah, I measured 17 inches out in the Grandview, Upper Arlington area in central Ohio.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And that does not surprise me.
It's insane. There were 2 cars that had been sitting for the entire event, so I went over to go measure them, and 17 inches they both came out to.
It's literally insane. And you go to the Northeast here near Boston, right? 26, 25. So we had talked about, hey, there's some potential for getting 18. I said 18 was probably going to happen. Guess what? 28 happened, or 26 happened, right? That's the highest one I can find. Actually, sorry, 30. There was someone with 30 in New York here, upstate New York. Sorry, this is the lower portions of New York. Even New York City, which was in the sleet. And I'll be honest, New York City looked like it was busting there for a while. Still got, this actually surprises me. It's showing 12 inches. I thought they were getting mostly sleet. Even in New York City, we were getting up to a foot of snow. So Aaron, this is just, this type of storm, I don't know when we'll see this widespread of a storm that dropped snow from Oklahoma City to Boston. Actually, sorry, Albuquerque to Boston. But it was crazy.
Yeah, no doubt. Just for some context too, I was looking this up. The average annual snowfall for the Columbus area is 26 to 28 inches, and we almost got that in one snowstorm alone, and that's not including what we've already got for the season. So we've already well exceeded the snow potential. But you know what's crazy, just to touch on, is that the Midwest in Ohio where I grew up, I live in Colorado now, and where I grew up in the Midwest in Ohio, I've just been absolutely clobbered this season. Meanwhile, Colorado is at its all-time lowest snowpack. Like it is still in the mid 60s there. It is horrible. So it's just like weird to see the flip-flop, because everyone always asks me in Colorado that we just get buried or if it's cold there all the time. And it's been the opposite, and Ohio is just getting clobbered. I've been visiting Ohio more this year than I have in any other year, simply because they just keep getting so many significant events out in Ohio and Michigan.
I know it's this winter has just been different, guys, and we had a winter like this. I can tell you from living in Ohio, we have been due for a long time here. Like we just hit the past 5 or 6 or 7 winters. If we got any Ohio brother in the chat, back me up. The past 5, 6, or 7 winters have just been bleh, mild, underperforming, constantly storms going north and going south. We were due for a big one. I don't know this big of a one, but we got absolutely hammered here. So, okay, Aaron, I'm pulling up the camera here. This is real time in Mississippi. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable here. So, Aaron, do you know what caused this, by the way? Was it just like trees? Like why is the road still closed?
There's no way to put this other than being blunt, is that MDOT absolutely dropped the ball. I haven't confirmed these reports, but there was people saying that they were told not to drop their plows and use the plows going through there instead, just laying down whatever pre-coat that they have, the stuff that they spray on the interstates. There's no way around it. They just dropped the ball, buddy. I don't know who was in charge of this storm. I don't know if it was one too many comments saying that this wasn't going to amount to much or they're overdoing it. There's no excuse for this one. This one, it was just pure lack of preparation on the interstates up there, and this is the result of it. And then now that it's so bad, semis are getting stuck on it and then leading to backups, and then nobody can get to them, and it just has a chain reaction. There's no excuse. I don't care where you are for how bad those interstates were, and that's coming from someone that drove on them before this all happened.
Wow. It's unbelievable. And just while we got our first ever payment. Oh my gosh, from Jennifer Wright with the 100 bomb. Are you kidding me? Jennifer with the 100 bomb. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me, Jennifer? Are you kidding me? What a banger. Oh my goodness, Jennifer. Wow. Okay, massive W's in chat for Jennifer. That's our first ever Venmo PayPal. We've never gotten one before. That's the first time that we've ever gotten one. I think it played the words. I got to figure out how to display that on screen. But let's go back to this camera here. But Aaron, what's going to happen? Are we looking at a resolution? How are these? Are there still people that are stuck in those cars? Do we know?
Yeah, there's definitely still people in those vehicles that are stuck. They last update I heard, I think it was probably 3 hours ago, that they were sending National Guardmen out there to pick people up that were stranded in their vehicles and take supplies, and people were running out of gas because they've been sitting there for so long. And I don't know how you fix that, because it's not getting any warmer down there. It's still it may heat up to 34. I think I haven't checked, but when it cools back down, it's just going to refreeze. And if they don't have the handle on it, I honestly don't know how they're going to fix that. I literally have no guesses. You have to bring in special equipment from out of state or something, I would imagine, to get that moving again. I don't know.
Okay, this is a different camera. I don't understand how the road is just closed. And first of all, these people, if they've been over here for 24 hours, they have to be out of gas. They have to be running out of gas. If you run out of gas, you run out of heat. If you run out of heat, I'm actually shocked we haven't heard of, catastrophic potential, deaths or whatever, because temperatures are it's 20 degrees here. And if your car isn't heating, I don't know what you're going to do. Like, unless you have a blanket, even then, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm hoping, guys in chat, if you are here, save a prayer. Say a prayer for the people along this freeway, because this is a disastrous situation here. This is going on now 24 hours that they've been stopped.
When I was driving on it, Brady.
Unbelievable. That is undrivable.
That's pure ice and ruts. Like,
it's undrivable. It's a skating rink. It's an absolute skating rink. Yeah, no, it's not even getting close to improving. That is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So, if you're, this is what we talk about when we say catastrophic, crippling, and the effects of the storm are still being felt. Let me just show you the power outage map here, guys. And then we're going to go to John to talk about the next storm here. These are the current power outages right now. We still have 336,000 people without power. The majority, by far, is in Tennessee and Mississippi, where we've got over 200,000 people total still without power. You can see people posting videos on Twitter. Will Compton is one of them. They've been out power for 4 days since the storm hit, and they're running out of fuel for their generators. It's unbelievable. And the people that don't have generators, which I would argue to say that probably most people, maybe 30% of people have generators, maybe less, especially in this part of the country where we're not used to getting catastrophic weather events. The hurricanes don't necessarily, maybe in Mississippi, but it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what we're dealing with. We're still dealing with Texas, 14,000. So Texas is fared much better with this storm. It's Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee that are still dealing with infrastructure crippling power outages. And Aaron, I don't see how this is going to get any better in the next couple of days, because the temperatures aren't going to improve.
Well, that, and also too, we got another one loaded down the pipe, so it's going to stretch already thin resources pretty thin. I'm personally a little confused on how so many power outages are still in Mississippi, because even when I was down there getting prep video, like, there was a lot of power crews and like a lot of tree trimming crews down there. And so I don't know if it's just that widespread, or if it's like a combination of roads being blocked or preventing crews from getting there. I don't know what's going on to have that kind of situation. It's just really a bummer. And that area, it's so low income. It's just, you got to feel terrible for those people down there.
Yeah, 100%. And you look at these counties in red here. These power outages, 92% of the county in Shark Lake County are without power. 82% in Humphreys County. 71% in Leflore County. 70%, we're 50, 60%, 90% of the people here, 95%, right? That's just absolutely insane numbers here. And it's all right. Guess where all the ice fell, right? You can literally see on the power outage map where all the ice fell. And John, I'll bring you in here. We talked about this before the event, that this was going to happen. And unfortunately, it did, and now people are kind of left to pick up the pieces. I think for us meteorologists, John, people just doubt what we say constantly.
I feel like it's also just hard for like people to wrap their heads around what that actually means. I mean, I remember growing up, and Aaron and Brady, you guys might remember too, like we had a couple ice storms. I remember we had a birch tree, and when there's ice, it like kind of bends the thing over, and it's just really, really arced, but it didn't actually break. And just the concept of that much ice is impossible to wrap your head around. Also, I mean, it's not like an evacuation situation necessarily where like you're going to have people evacuate the premise, but that's almost kind of what needs to happen because you're not going to have power forever. But yeah, it's just remarkable amounts. And even, ice storm warning criteria, I'm not sure what it is down there. Maybe it's like 1/10 of an inch or 1/4 inch or something like that. But like we're way beyond that. And when you have torrential rain at 28 degrees, like that's going to just end up being a really, really bad situation. So I hate to see it. I don't really know how these things work, but I wonder too, if maybe there was like a bunch of poles that just snapped and there's not the infrastructure to be able to kind of put the poles back up. I don't claim to know what's going on. I'm sure people are working on it, but it's also still really cold, right? Like there were freezing fog advisories in Dallas, Texas today, like
Crazy.
Days after the storm. It's just been such sustained cold. So that's probably having an impact as well. And just wild. I mean, we haven't seen this extensive a cold, I don't think, or this durable probably since like 2014, 2015. I remember that was the last time we had some really extreme cold, and last couple of Decembers have been really mild. So I think we just haven't had big ice storms in a bit. So people even telling them half an inch of ice, we don't really have a recent perspective on what that means.
Yeah, totally agree. They don't get it. And guys, these are your temperatures that we're looking at here. And you know, this will be a good segue to talk about our storm here for the next week. But these are your actual temperatures for the next week here. Anything that you see in white here, that is temperatures in the teens and in the single digits. You can see single digits down here in Oklahoma, in the teens down in Oklahoma. In Dallas, you've got in the 24 degrees. Odessa, 19. Look at Indianapolis, -1. That's fresh snow cover. And even as far south as Mississippi, we're talking about temperatures in the teens and 20s. And this kind of cold is not going anywhere. And unfortunately, this isn't like a 2021 situation for Mississippi yet, but it could be turning into one. If these people don't get power back on soon, when this second wave of cold, because today was a little bit warmer, but tonight and tomorrow, that we've got another kind of wave of cold coming down, especially down in the Ohio Valley, where, look at this, Columbus, -9. That's actual temperature. By the time we wake up, I guess this was actually today. Sorry about this. Here, let me go to the latest run on the GFS here. But just the cold that we're looking at is not going anywhere. And even going into Friday, you see another cold blast. Look at this. Let's put this in motion here. You can just see that cold coming, streaming down from our Canadian brethren here, and it making its way all the way down into Florida, where if you're down in Florida, guys, especially the East Coast, I got news for you. Monday morning, you could wake up with temperatures below freezing. We could have probably our biggest Florida freeze here in years, maybe since 2015, like John was talking about here. I mean, we're talking about these are temperatures, actual temperatures. Monday morning, 31 Orlando, 29 Jacksonville, 27 Gainesville. We're in the 20s in Panama City and Pensacola, even as far south as Miami. We could be talking about temperatures in the 30s and 40s by the time we wake up Monday morning. Aaron, that kind of cold is just brutal. Absolutely, there's no other way to cut it. It's brutal, and it's almost the entire eastern half of the U.S. might be below freezing.
Yeah, it's such a silent killer too, because when we think hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, it's visually like, oh damn, yeah, I better get. Dang, sorry about that. I better get get out of the. Okay, I better get out of the way because my life can be in danger. But I think when it comes to cold and heat as well, it's the same instance. It's like, a lot of people think, oh, it's going to be cold. That's weird. But it's nothing more than what we usually deal with every year until your power goes out, until you don't have the proper warm gear. And then all of a sudden you're cold, you're out of resources. And then unfortunately you have these catastrophic results. I mean, I can't remember how many fatalities were caused by the cold, by the Dallas event. But I know it was in the hundreds for sure. And fatalities alone from the storm we just had are over 60. So like you said, if we don't get a handle on this situation quick, we could, I'm not saying it will, but the potential is there to have another situation like that with this dangerous cold that keeps coming down.
100%. 100%. Massive shout out. Tracy Lee just became a YouTube member. Massive W in chat to Tracy Lee. Welcome to the family here. Okay. So we've talked about the cold. We've talked about the past event. It was a historic event. I can tell you what, I'm going to be shoveling more driveways tomorrow. I can almost guarantee it. By the way, I am the only one that's under 40 in my condo association. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that's under 60, right? Like my people in my condo association, they're going to bed right now. And so the second they found out that I was, just the only one under 60, I was getting calls left and right saying, can you shovel my driveway, please? And I'm like, I got to. You got to show up for the neighbors, especially when you're the only one under 60. And so tell you what, my back is a little sore, but you know what? Sometimes you got to put the team on your back, right? Sometimes you just got to go out and do it. Oh, all right. Well, let's talk about the upcoming winter storm here, because this has got my attention, guys. And this storm actually could be, I'm going to go big screen here for just a sec to show over on the radar here. This storm could actually be bigger. It could be stronger than the one that we just had. Now, having said that, the impacts of it will be over a more narrow area of the country. We are not, I got people asking me on Facebook, hey, are we going to get snow here in the country? Are we going to get snow in the South, in Texas, some of the same areas that were just hit? No. This is not your storm. You will not get basically anything from this winter storm. This will be a classic nor'easter. One that we haven't really seen strong nor'easters for a couple of years now, but we are going to see one here. And it all starts Friday night. You'll see our low pressure right here starting to form. Let me switch over to the upper levels, because this will help give you a general idea of what's going to happen here and how this is going to form. So this is all due. Let's zoom out here and show you. Look at this big boy trough that's working its way down. Drop my pen. It's working its way down from Canada here. So this trough right here, watch how this evolves. Let's go back a couple of frames here. Right in there. See this bowling ball of a trough just absolutely eject down here into the south and right just off to the east. So this is the 500 millibar map. This is way high up in the atmosphere, right to the right of that bowling ball. Here's your bowling ball right here. When I say a bowling ball, it looks like a bowling ball, right? There we go. We'll put some dots on it. That's a bowling ball. Right to the east of that bowling ball, right in this region, is where you generally get your low pressure that'll form. Because you've got divergence here, you've got winds going this way, winds going this way. It creates a pressure gap at the high levels of the atmosphere. There's a ton of particles. Now there's not a ton of particles at the high levels of the atmosphere. So now air rises. As air rises, you get this low pressure that forms at the surface right in that region. So that's exactly what's going to happen there at the upper levels of the atmosphere. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Just absolutely. In the summer, this would be a massive severe weather bowling ball type trough. But it's not the summer, it's the winter, and this will cause a huge, big time nor'easter here. So let me go and show you what this looks like at the surface here, because this will give you a good idea. So there was your bowling ball. Now, let's go back a little bit to Saturday morning here. By the time we wake up Saturday morning, might have some snow ongoing in the Carolinas, right? And that's when the event is going to start. If you're in the Carolinas, let me know in chat. If you're in the Carolinas, raise your hand. Say, I'm a Carolina brethren. Say that in chat. I'm curious how many Carolina brethren we have right now. But this storm that we're looking at is going to get going Saturday morning early. By the time you wake up, you're likely going to have snow ongoing in the Carolinas here. And then by the time we get to about noon, watch this. This is Saturday around noon. Our storm starts to rapidly intensify. This will be the beginning of a bomb cyclone. What do we mean by bomb cyclone? It sure sounds like a scary term. John, correct me if I'm wrong. It's 24 millibars in 24 hours, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And John, that's like a legit, that's in our basically meteorological glossary, right? That isn't some made up term that someone just.
Nope, exactly. It's a legit thing that's just, it sounds cool, but legitimately there's if you go to the AMS glossary and look up bomb cyclone, that's what it'll say.
Yeah, exactly. So this is not something that I made up. This is not something that John made up, that Aaron made up, that Stu made up. This is an actual weather term, and that is exactly what this thing's going to do. Watch as we go Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes from basically, early in the morning, it goes from a 1,005 millibar low to a 992 millibar low. That is a drop of 10 millibars in basically 10 hours. And that is a rapidly strengthening storm here. And by the time we get to 11 Saturday night, we will have heavy snow ongoing somewhere in the Carolinas. That snow could be inland. That snow could be along the coast. We still don't know just yet. And then as we go into Saturday night, this thing is going to absolutely crank. You guys know Soulja Boy? Why me crank it? Like that song? That storm is going to crank and absolutely get stronger and stronger. 982. So we have the bottom is falling out for this low. 982, 977. by Sunday morning. So our storm is going to take advantage. All that cold air you're going to have pouring down from Canada, and you'll have some warm air here right in there coming up, and that your boundary is going to set up. That's going to create a primed environment for rapid storm development, and that's exactly what's going to happen by the time we wake up Sunday morning. Sunday by noon, our low, 972. That is absolutely cranking. And the winds on the backside, guys, regardless of who gets the biggest snow, will be 50, 60. There could be gusts here in the Carolinas close to hurricane force. I'm going to show you that in just a minute here. And the big question is, guys, the question the models have been trying to figure out here, where is this storm going to track? And then I'm going to bring in John and Aaron and Stu back to kind of talk about this here. Where is the storm going to track? Massive W. CLB just joined the channel. This storm could track like this and meander, like the GFS, like the latest GFS actually has. I haven't looked at this yet. It could track up like this. It could track up like this. All three of those options are at play right now. Now, if it takes this path, let's call this door number one, my lord. If it takes door number one, that is big snow here for the I-95 corridor, all the way from the Carolinas up through the Northeast, Boston, New York City, Long Island, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, all big snow. If it takes door number two, my lord, that would be big snow here for our Carolina brethren. But we were talking about, a lot of the snow would stay, offshore, right? Like what the GFS depicts here. See how the GFS, that's actually crazy here, guys. That the GFS follows track number 2 exactly. I did not plan that. But if the GFS takes that track, you can see the snow shield stays well offshore. So door number 2, not good for our Northeast brethren that want big time snow. Door number 3 is less likely at this point, but still a possibility where it could kind of go a little bit weaker and go this way. That would mean basically no one would get snow except for Carolina. But all three options are possible. So let me bring back in the guys here. And John, I'll start with you here. It looks like you're walking around. What have you seen in the models, and what has your attention with this storm?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference with this storm compared to the last one is that the gradient on the west side is just going to be so much stronger than the previous one. I mean, the last storm was so impressive because of the expanse of snow cover or snowfall, and there weren't really these like tight gradients. I mean, everybody from basically, Texas all the way over to the New England got a good amount of snow. With this one, we're talking razor thin margins. I mean, you explained it well, Brady, the idea that a little more westward track out close to the coast could lead to some pretty massive totals, mainly still across the eastern seaboard. Cape Cod looks like they'd have the best shot at this point. If it ends up being more out to sea, then people get absolutely nothing. I think it was interesting. I saw some commentary a little earlier today with some analogs showing potential for this thing to really shift northwest with a more widespread swath of, 15, 20, 24 inches. It's a little bit unlikely at this point, just based on the way things are setting up. There's not a super great blocking high to keep things held close to the coast. But I think it's really just the boomer bust. I mean, we could be talking about if this thing does hug the coast with a nor'easter, you get these real, strong northeast winds, plenty of moisture coming off the Atlantic. You could have 2 feet, and then you move, 40, 50 miles west, and they have nothing. So I think that's going to be the bigger story with this classic Miller A system where you get the low coming across the Gulf, shooting up the East Coast. It's just going to be a very different sort of footprint of snowfall than the previous storm. That one being super widespread. Everybody gets a lot of snow. This one, feast or famine. The difference in 50 miles makes a huge difference for observed snowfall and impacts as well.
Yeah, John, you nailed it here, because guys, you can see here the difference, right? This is the 12Z GFS today, right? And you can see Carolina gets crushed. And then our East Coast brethren, New York City gets missed, but Boston, look, these snowfall rates that we're going to have with a system like this, these are 2 to 3 to 4 inch per hour snowfall rates. So whoever gets in that band is going to get hammered. In this scenario, this is the 12Z GFS. This is what we're talking about here. By that 50 miles is going to make all the difference here. This is Boston, the Nantucket Provincetown, right? Maybe Providence as well. But the majority of the Northeast would miss out. Watch the latest GFS, the shift here. Look at that. That is once again, that is just a slight difference of 50 miles between the centers. And that makes the difference between literally getting 0 snow in Boston, in New York City, in Philly, in New Jersey, or getting absolutely crushed potentially in Boston and in parts of Long Island, and maybe in New Jersey. It's absolutely insane. Let me show you the snow totals just to kind of compare here. Here's the snow totals on the 12Z GFS, right? We got to take these with a grain of salt. We're going to look at a lot of different snow totals here. But if you compare these to 18Z, look at that. That's the 12Z. Absolute hammer job here in the Carolinas. Absolute hammer job in Southern Virginia. And then even in Boston, you get some right on the edge in Nantucket. You switch the 18Z GFS, it goes from literally to nothing in Boston, nothing in Long Island, nothing in New Jersey, nothing in Maryland, and a lot less in Virginia. And that's what we mean by, guys. We gotta have to watch this. Aaron, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this particular storm.
Well, I haven't had as much time to dive into this one as I did with the other one just yet because I've been so busy with this last one. But from an initial glance, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. The track, I think snow and impacts North Carolina is pretty much locked in at this point. Just given on where it's going to form and how much it's going to deepen. I want to draw some perspective on that though. If that does bottom out to 900 and what was it, 72 or 77, that's about the equivalent to a Category 2 hurricane. So
that's crazy.
That's some perspective from the viewers, and the way that this is positioned and how long and how deep that thing is going to get so quick. There could actually be storm surge like on the northern portions of the Outer Banks that we typically see with tropical systems, for some perspective on that. But for the Northeast, I have still 50-50 shot. I mean, my gut says it's probably going to track closer to what number 2 is going to say, but the reliable Euro model that we all know and love and handled this most recent winter storm fairly well says a different picture. It has a little bit track closer to track 1 that kind of takes it closer up into Boston, have significant impacts in Boston. So that's going to be something that all of us are going to have to watch pretty close to see where this ends up.
Yeah, to Aaron's point here, guys. The winds that we're talking about. Look at this. These are wind gusts that we're looking at right here. This is one model, but right along the Carolina coast, guys, that is hurricane force, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts in the Outer Banks here from this particular storm. That's why when we call this thing a bomb cyclone, we got winds could be howling in the Northeast. That's the headline. And it will be, regardless of what happens, we are going to have, welcome, Vincent. Regardless of what happens here, even inland in Raleigh, we're talking about wind gusts of 30 to 40 to 50. We're talking, tropical storm force wind gusts. And to Aaron's point, when you have a low that's that low, right? When you have a pressure that's 970 millibars, that's a Category 2 hurricane, basically. This is non-tropical. So you're not going to see the same impacts as a hurricane, but you could absolutely see hurricane force winds, even here in Delaware and Maryland, right along the coast, Virginia Beach, even as far north as Philadelphia, or right along the coast here. The coastlines are going to see the biggest impacts here, and a lot of the people in these areas know what a nor'easter does, right? They know the impacts. We're going to have all of those impacts with, Aaron, we talked about a storm surge. Look at this. You're going to have a 70 to 80 mile an hour wind pushing all of this water on shore in the Outer Banks. And the winds are coming this way, right? Here, I'll draw them with a different color. The winds are coming out of the north here. And so they'll be pushing the water right towards the Outer Banks. And these impacts, Aaron, to your point, regardless of where the snow falls, we're going to see significant coastal impacts for our Carolina, Virginia, potentially as far north as Jersey, Maryland, even maybe in portions of Long Island here from this particular storm.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. And even when hurricanes are passing off the coast of North Carolina with bare minimum impacts, we have houses falling into the water. So a lot of those houses that have been in danger on the Outer Banks, I got a feeling they may not bode so well for if this particular track were to pan out. So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. And they're going to have to do some preparation for that on the Outer Banks as well, building up those sandbars again. Because even when that nor'easter pushes off to the east and those winds change directions, it's going to be pulling all of the water from the ocean on the west side of the Outer Banks back into the Outer Banks. So they're gonna, I imagine they're gonna have some pretty significant issues out there, and Lord only knows what's gonna happen if the snowfall totals actually verify in Greenville and Raleigh, because they're not exactly used to harsh winters either. So they got a bit of better preparation and a little bit more to work with plows and stuff, but it's still not like what we have up in the Midwest.
Yeah, 100%. Stu, while we're talking, could you pull up just like the blend and some of the snowfall totals? I'm curious what the average is here, because I'm just going to go through and kind of compare some of these models to show you the differences here that we still have. Right, this is the 18Z Suite, this is the 18Z GFS, and the 18Z actually did shift significantly offshore. So the latest GFS model, which was why I was kind of we weren't showing the models right away. We were waiting for this to come out here. The 18Z GFS, of course, now is, I would say, it's kind of caving to the Euro here, and it shows the heaviest snow staying well away from the coast. I'll say this, guys, a big caveat here. A lot of times, these storms like to hug the coast, because that's where the biggest temperature gradient is, right? You normally have cooler air and I'm just going to draw this right here. You have kind of cooler air that tends to be along the coast here, because especially at night, you lose a lot of your heat, right? The air mass over land heats up faster, but it also cools down way faster. So when you have these very cold air masses, normally it's way colder over land than it is over water, right? That's called the maritime effect. If you're along the Northeast, that along the coast, it's a little bit warmer than it is inland. So, and then along the water, you have generally warm, we're not talking about incredibly warm air. This is, these water temperatures in the 40s and 50s. So if you get in the water, it's frigid. But storms tend to go right in between that temperature gradient, right? So that's why they tend to hug the coast here. So I could see the last minute models trend towards the coast as the storm kind of gets pulled towards that temperature gradient. Now, John, we talked about this in the past. Sometimes the trough tends to overpower that temperature gradient. You were kind of talking about things trending to the northwest, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on that situation?
Yeah, truth be told, I don't have a great feel for these nor'easters. So, work with a couple guys who were born and raised on Long Island, and so nor'easters are just like a super common thing for them. I don't know about you, Brady, but growing up in Ohio, like nor'easters, I didn't really do much forecasting with. I'm like, oh, it's cool. They're really powerful storms. I just know anecdotally, and like don't put any weight in this whatsoever, but it seems like with a lot of these storms, they're sort of at the last second tends to be one of these like northwest shifts. That's purely anecdotal. I don't know how likely that actually is. I was looking at some of the model trend stuff, Brady. It might be interesting to show like the ensemble probabilities, 6 inches of snow, and do like the model run comparison. Was looking at that a little bit, and it looks like the 0Z GFS had the whole East Coast getting just pasted with snow, and then there's been this sort of trend on the Southeast. If you go to like EPS and then go to probability of like greater than 6 inches of snow, that's a pretty nice visualization. Yeah, right there. So not sure which model run you're using, but like if you go to the model run comparison, you can see how it's sort of, I think zeros. Yeah. So EPS is, for whatever reason, the EPS is a lot hotter with these, like the probabilities of 6 inches, even for the last storm, were a little bit hotter and more concentrated than the GEFS. Perhaps the GEFS is just a little more dispersive. I'm not necessarily quite sure how that all works, but I really like looking at this product and just looking at trends. And it does seem like for the last several months, there has been this trend a little bit farther off to the south and east. We'll see. But I mean, I definitely think like the I-95 corridor, certainly people west of there probably aren't going to be too worried about big snow. The focus is certainly southeast of the I-95 corridor with this one. And then we'll sort of see, I mean, certainly the speed of the high coming in, if there's a big enough high pushing things out to sea, like it doesn't really matter. There's not a huge blocking high here to keep everything tucked in close to the coast and slow things down necessarily. But that's not necessary, right? When it's puking snow, you saw the northeast winds, which is why a nor'easter gets its name. The really strong northeast winds, there's going to be plenty of moisture convergence there. It's just some of these sort of subtle features that steer it. All that to say, I don't have a great sense, but the northwest trend tends to be, it just feels like something forecasting in central Pennsylvania for a good long while. That wouldn't be surprised to see a northwest shift here in the last few runs as we get towards later this week.
Well, John, to your point, we just had that with the last storm. Remember, you guys remember all the way back about a week ago, right? We were about 100, maybe 112, 115 hours out. And we were talking about snow, Tennessee, the Carolinas, Georgia, Texas getting hammered with snow. And then what happened, right? Once we got to about hour 80, right now, guys, from this event, we're about 100 hours away. And the last event, by about hour 80, we saw that huge north shift. The story for the last winter storm completely flipped. 2 or 3 days out, Texas went from getting a foot of snow to getting freezing rain and ice. Tennessee went from getting a foot of snow to getting freezing rain and ice. Ohio went from getting nothing to getting a foot and a half. And so what we're looking at right now, this is what we know about the storm. This is the most likely situation based upon the models. But to John's point, shifts are absolutely still possible and will be likely. And I think, we talked about that high pressure a little bit here from remember the last storm that we had a high pressure moving down that brought all that cold air. That high ended up being a little bit weaker than the models were showing. And that allowed, high pressure is what they tend to do. To John's point, they tend to push the storm further south. They tend to steer the storm away from the coast. So if you have less, if that high is a little bit weaker here, right? I'm just going to hit the back button here. You can see some of these arrows going away. Now our storm will creep towards the coast because that high isn't as strong. It isn't, think about if you got a professional bodybuilder, instead of lifting 500 pounds, he's lifting, 100, right? And it allows the high to have less of an oomph. You can't push that storm as far off the coast, and then your snow shifts inland because the storm will kind of follow the path of least resistance there. And so what we're looking at right here, this is the probability of 6 inches of snow. You can see someone's going to get hammered here. Right now, the European ensemble shows the fish are going to get hammered here. Wow. Connor Croft gifted 1 membership. W's in chat for brother Connor. Who knows who Connor gifted that to? I don't know. Oh, just a regular mom. W's in chat. Aaron, I'm going to bring in you now to kind of talk about, so these are the trends. Do you see anything in the EPS here that could kind of give us an idea of where this snow is going to fall? That is so close.
Not anything. I think John hit it on the head as far as the tracks go. I wouldn't be surprised if this tug's a little bit closer to the northwest along the coast, which could honestly lead to some significant issues if it does end up doing that, because this is another one that's going to kind of come down to the wire as far as track goes. So, we've been heavily advertising Virginia Beach, North Carolina for good reason, because it's the most confidence. But if that ends up drifting a little bit further northwest, closer to Boston, that could create some big issues simply for the fact of people being underprepared. So hopefully people take the track with a grain, kind of like how we preach and currently what's going on in I-55, to be prepared anyway. It's like, what do you have to lose? Just getting a little bit extra food and water and gas. So
exactly,
people are taking those precautions up in New England as well.
Exactly. W in chat for Mama G. Stu, I'm going to bring you in here. What are you seeing? Are you seeing anything that's sticking out to you on the models?
So for sure, someone in the Carolinas and the Delmarva area is going to get over 6 inches of snow. That I'm pretty sure we can lock in at that point. I sent you the NBM over on Discord of what it currently looks like at the moment. And it's really homed in on over 10 inches of snow in parts of North Carolina, over 6 inches of snow in parts of northern South Carolina. And as you get up into the Delmarva, that gradient gets a lot tighter. And there's a few things that are going to be different from the last storm. that are, different in this storm. One, there's going to be a very tighter gradient. It's not going to be a wide swath of snow that affects millions of people. It's going to be this tight gradient. And I do think it's going to hug the coast a little bit, but I think it's going to go somewhere in between. So areas like Boston probably getting in on, let's say 6 to 10 inches of snow. But then areas like Cape Cod can end up with close to 2 feet. I think New York City, like a borough like Brooklyn, could get in on nearly a foot of snow, but then you go 20 miles north into Queens and you're at 6 inches of snow. And another thing too is I would not be surprised to see blizzard warnings issued along the coast in places like Myrtle Beach, in North Carolina and Virginia, stuff like that, because the wind gusts are going to be over 35 miles an hour for an extended amount of time. And I don't know if the National Hurricane Center can do it, but I feel like they could theoretically designate this as an area of tropical development just because of how strong it will get off of the coast.
I would. So we talked about the last storm, hurricane hunters flying into this storm. Capucci was the one that broke that last time. There's no way that they're not going to fly into this one, because this one will be, it will be not as widespread as the impacts, right? The impacts, guys, are going to be right along the coast here. So, it won't be as countrywide as the last storm, but this one's going to be a lot stronger. The pressure's going to be lower, the wind's going to be higher, and the snow, arguably, potentially at the core of this thing, could be higher with those, snowfall rates likely to exceed 2 to 3 inches per hour in the heaviest bands. But here's the European ensemble, right? And this shows you how close of a call this is truly going to be. Once again, the European ensemble, this is run 52 different times. So you take, if I run the 40-yard dash 52 different times, probably going to be like a, 4-4, 4-5. Maybe a 5, maybe a 5. That's probably closer to a 5. But if I run that 40-yard dash 52 different times, it's going to be pretty accurate on my time. That's the same thing with the ensembles. These ensembles are run 52 different times with the snowfall. And so the result that you get is this map. And you'll notice here, for our Virginia brethren, for our Carolina brethren, for an ensemble 100 hours out to be showing totals of 6 inches, 8 inches, 9 inches, 10 inches right along the coast, that's basically what the ensembles were showing for our last winter storm. And we saw how that turned out, right? So we're pretty confident that someone right along the Carolina coastline in this region will get significant snow, 6+ inches. Now, the big question is for our people that are in basically the interior portions of the Carolinas is how far west does that snow shield go? Right now, the models basically say a couple of inches could fall in even as far west as Tennessee, eastern Tennessee and Knoxville, a couple of inches could fall, and in South Carolina as well. But by far, the heaviest axis of snow is going to be in the Carolinas, right along the coast. And if I go up the coast here, and John, this is a classic nor'easter that we're looking at. You could see some areas within a span of 40 miles, some areas that get 15 inches, and then 40 miles to the west, we're talking 3 inches.
Yeah, it's feast or famine, right? And that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Very different variety of storm. I mean, the last one, big swath of snow for a lot of people. This one's going to be somebody's going to get slammed. The degree of how much snow falls will depend exactly on that track. But it'll hug very close to the coast, and people more inland can probably rest assured that it's just going to be cold. There could be some flurries, obviously. But yeah, it'll be really fascinating to watch and see who gets hit the hardest. I want to circle back as well on the conversation about the hurricane hunters flying in. Ken Graham, Weather Service Director, is here talking this week at AMS and just talking about the importance of observational data sets to continue to improve our models. A lot of work going on in that. The best and brightest across the world working on improving our models, and I think it'll be really interesting as well to see how these AI models behave. Right, there's a lot of them. We're gaining more confidence with, I guess, gaining more at bats for these things to understand what happens. So really excited to watch another one come along and see how all the models perform. It'll be really, really interesting. I got to hop off. Got to head to dinner with some folks, but appreciate you all so much. Go Bucks, and we'll see y'all soon. If I don't talk to you before then, Brady, we'll see you in Denver next week for Storm Chaser Summit. Really pumped about that. So we'll see y'all then.
Guys, massive W to John in chat, the co-founder of Weatherfront. Check it out. Weatherfront is over on the iOS store. You can download it. It's in the link in the description below. It is absolutely epic. So check it out. Massive W, John. Thank you for joining us, brother.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good night.
See you, John.
I'm probably going to have to do the same soon, Brady. I got stuff
Aaron,
I got to get done for tomorrow.
Any final thoughts before you go?
One for sure. I hope that we get a break after this because I am extremely tired. But in all seriousness, no. I hope that even if we don't see the severity of the situation that we saw with this previous winter storm, I just hope that people kind of use this previous one as a learning experience. Even if they're not necessarily going to be in like the hardest hit areas, just to bring that extra food, supplies, water. Make sure your gas tank is fuel. It's just such. It sounds like we are reading a script, but it's just such basic things that people can do to help keep themselves safe. And if they don't use it, then fine. Best case scenario, it's there for the next one. If they do use it, then your life is potentially saved. So I think that's the thing I want to reiterate so much about this. The track and everything is going to come in time, but just be prepared. If you have if your state is even mentioned in the potential track, just have a few extra things to help make your life a little bit easier through the storm.
100%. Yeah, and I can vouch for that because on the last storm, I went to the grocery store before and I got some stuff. I didn't have any food in my fridge, and good thing I did because nothing was open for 2 days, right? It's simple things like that even if you can go somewhere, the chances are, especially in the Carolinas, things will be shut down for days if they get anywhere close to the snowfall totals that we're predicting there. So Aaron, massive W in chat. Guys, let's give Aaron a lot of love in chat. Make sure you go follow him on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Aaron, where can people find you?
Facebook, Storm Chaser Aaron Rigsby, Twitter, Aaron Rigsby OSC, and my YouTube channel where all that banger content goes, including the newest video with those car crashes, Storm Chaser Aaron Rigsby.
Fantastic. Mods, help us out. Put those links in the chat. W's in chat. Aaron, thank you for joining us. Be safe. Get some sleep.
Appreciate it, brother. It's good seeing you, Stu.
See you, Aaron.
Fantastic. All right, guys, we're going to bring in Agent Dan now. Agent Dan's backstage. Massive shout out to Agent Dan, who just joined us off his workday, brother. Dan, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Guys, Agent Dan's a regular here on the stream. Dan, we're talking about this storm, this historic storm. And Dan, I do want to talk to you about Texas here in just a little bit. But I did want to show people the AI models, because we talked about, John brought that up a little bit, and this will be very interesting to watch here. This is the latest European AI model, and this is the Ensemble, I believe. Let me double check here. Yeah, this is the Ensemble. This is the AI Ensemble of the European, and it shows the heaviest axis of snow right in here. And so it for the most part, for the Northeast, it keeps that heavy axis off the coast, right? It keeps it over open water. Now, once again, coastal Carolina, the Euro AI model does, or the Euro AI Ensemble model does have the heaviest snow in, the Outer Banks here, right? So our Carolina brethren, once again, especially along the coast, you're going to get 6+ inches, right? Everything that I'm seeing says 6+ inches in, places like, Wilmington, Jacksonville. Wait, that's Jacksonville, North Carolina. I had to make sure there. And then the Outer Banks as well. We're talking potentially 8+ inches of snow and blizzard conditions. If you get 2 inches of snow here in the coastal Carolinas, you will be looking at blizzard warnings because those winds will be howling to 40, 50, maybe 60 miles an hour, making visibility basically zero. That we know. We know that will likely happen. And so do not be surprised in a couple of days here if you do see blizzard warnings in that region. That is almost a certainty at this point. The big question mark is in interior portions of Carolina. How much snow will fall and how bad will the winds be? Will the blizzard conditions get far inland? I think, if you're in this area of South Carolina, this area of North Carolina, probably won't get blizzard warnings, but you could get a couple of inches of snow. If you're in this part of Carolina, Raleigh, Myrtle Beach, Florence, even down as far south as Charleston, I would not be surprised, depending on how this thing trends, if we do, in fact, get some blizzard warnings down there. Massive shout out to Santino Roberts, who donated the 2-bomb. Can this shift any more west? Absolutely. Absolutely, this could shift further west. And if that shift, we saw it with the last storm, guys. We were talking about this with the last storm. You know, the storm that we had that swept through the country. We saw a massive north shift about, it's 82 hours away from that storm, where the heavy snow went from being in Texas, in Louisiana, and Tennessee to now shifting into Illinois, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Ohio. And that's exactly what happened, right? So shifts, we still are about 100 hours out from when the storm will start. We're talking about it's Wednesday. The storm won't get going until Saturday during the day. And so we still have a couple of days here. So I would look, the big window I'm looking for is the next 24 to 48 hours. If there is going to be a huge shift west, it probably will happen in the models in that time frame. So what we're looking at now, let's just go through some of the models here. Let's go through the rundown.
$4.99.
Oh my.
Nuggy Fun 2 + 2 = chalked.
That's right. Brother Stu, massive W in chat. So Santino, it absolutely can happen for this particular storm. That's something we're going to have to watch in a big way here. So let's just go through the models here. We're going to go model by model, and we're going to see, can we find any particular trends? Okay, W in chat, Pain Chaser. Is that Brandon? Brandon, you got to give at least 5 for the text to pop up. Okay. Let's take a look here at the European Ensemble AI. This is the AI ensemble, and it shows the heaviest axis of snow off the coast here. I'm going to draw a circle around that heavy axis of snow. Let's compare the other models here. Let's go to compare models. This is another amazing feature of Weatherfront. So this is the 18Z. This is the 12Z of the European Ensemble. Similar spot. Very similar spot here. Let's go to the 18Z GFS. Similar spot, right? That snow kind of hugs the coast and stays far enough off where our, Boston, New York City don't get much. Let's take a look at the 12Z Euro. Also, similar story. North Carolina, South Carolina get several inches, and then right up here is where the heavy axis of snow stays offshore. Route, that would bring some snow to Providence and right along very coastal portions of Massachusetts. But outside of that, we would not be talking about very big snow in New York City. We would not be talking about big snow in Maine, in the majority of Massachusetts. It would be very, very limited to right along the coast. Let's take a look at the 18Z GFS. Also, huge shift. The latest GFS has had a massive shift here, and now the axis of snow is incredibly far off the coast. So that'll be a trend we'll have to watch tonight in the models. Does that trend east? Because right now the GFS has trended east, not west. So we'll have to watch that tonight. When the latest models come out, do the latest models follow that trend, or do they go back west? Let's look at the Canadian as well. Canadian, further close to the coast. Guys, I can't tell you. Looking at all these models, I can't tell you how close this will be. We are talking about a 50-mile difference here that will make all the difference between getting a foot plus in Boston, a foot plus in New York, or getting 2 inches. And both of those are absolutely on the table. And so with these nor'easters, you always have a margin. Those margins are razor thin. And with this storm, is going to be no different. Absolutely no different at all. Let's look at the latest icon. Yikes. I don't really put much stock in the icon. Okay, this is interesting here. This is the latest European AI model. So this is the AI version of the European, think Chat GPT, but weather model. Let's look at this. Look at this razor thin margin here, guys. Once again, for our Carolina brethren, they get crushed. right? For our Virginia Beach brethren, they get crushed. But then as we go, let's zoom in here in the Northeast. Look at that. It's unbelievable. Let's calculate from New York City to where this center of the snow thing is. That's 100 miles, guys. You can drive 100 miles in under an hour if you're going 95, which I do not recommend. You can probably drive 110 miles in 2 hours.
I also don't recommend driving into the ocean.
Yeah, I would not recommend driving fast, and I would not recommend driving into the ocean. For me, I like to stay at a nice calm 60 on the freeway. Maybe 65. I'm not a good driver. And then going to the Northeast here. Look at this. Boston. Look at this. Between New Bedford, Massachusetts, and then Nantucket. That's a 40-mile difference. And in that difference, you get New Bedford gets 3 inches, and Nantucket gets 14. That's what we're talking about. These margins here of error, and this is going to be like lake effect snow, where some people will get crushed, and then some people will get basically nothing, right? So we still have a long ways to go before we can officially say this is going to be how this is going to trend. Right now, the trends are that the bulk of the heavy snow stays off the coast. What we do know, here's what we do know. Watch all the latest models here. We're going to go big screen here to show you. If we look at the latest models, I'm going to compare all of them right here in Carolina, in North Carolina and South Carolina, because this will give us an idea about what we do know. The European AI, absolute crush job here in the Carolinas. Let's take a look at the Icon. Okay, we can throw out the Icon. The Icon's chalked. The Canadian, crush job in the Carolinas. 18Z GFS, crush job in the Carolinas. 12Z European, less snow, but still, crush job in the Carolinas, relatively speaking. 7 inches, that's a lot of snow for our Carolina brethren. The 18Z GFS, or the 18Z GFS Ensemble, crush job in the Carolinas. 12Z European Ensemble, crush job in coastal portions of the Carolinas. 18Z European AI, crush job in the coastal portions of the Carolinas. You get what I'm trying to say here, Chad? Stu, what am I trying to say?
There's going to be a crush job in the Carolinas.
That's right. Dan, what am I trying to say?
There's a consensus on a specific area.
That's right. The models agree, guys. This is one thing at this point that I'm pretty confident in, that if you are, especially in North Carolina, right, in coastal areas, that includes Wilmington, that includes Jacksonville, that includes the Outer Banks, and even in portions of coastal Virginia, I am very confident that you are going to get a shovelable snow. You're going to get accumulating snow of at least 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 inches, especially, the most confident area that I have right now is coastal, is the Outer Banks, which could get 10 plus inches of snow. That's what's likely to happen right now. Even in interior portions, guys, you could be talking about a couple of inches here in the entire state of South Carolina. You could be talking about a couple of inches here in the entire state of North Carolina. And so even if you are in western portions of the state here, Asheville, Franklinton, Charlotte, these guys just got absolutely crushed by ice. And now we're talking about a couple of inches of snow and ludicrous cold. That's not what our North Carolina brethren, that's not why you moved to North Carolina. It's not. You moved there to get pleasant weather, not winter, winter wonderland, winter misery, right? That's not why you moved to the Carolinas. Is there any, guys, I'm curious, do we have any Carolina brethren in chat? Say, I'm a Carolina brethren in chat if you are indeed a Carolina brethren.
There's a lot of there's one thing that I don't think a lot of people are talking about with this storm. Can you pan down to Florida real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not showing it on that. Can you bring up the NBM on Weatherfront?
Yeah, there it is. There, I know what you're talking about here. Right there. That's what we're looking at.
There is a real possibility that Tampa Bay gets their first measurable snow since 1977.
Wow.
Because of Gulf effect snow. And I believe Tampa just recently mentioned it in their area forecast discussion. They've added
Really?
they've added a 20% precipitation chance for snow in the Tampa Bay area. And the last time it snowed in general in Tampa was December of 1989, but the last measurable snow was January of 1977.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts. W stat there from Brother Stu. Like, guys, this is what we're you know, the storm is not going to be down here, right? The snow that we're looking at, this is under an inch, right? But still potentially measurable here. And the reason why we're getting this is because we'll have very strong winds. Let me just show you the winds here. On the GFS, let's show you the winds. What can happen is because we're going to have such strong winds here. Let's go back right there. See that? You guys know what lake effect snow is, right? I guess I'm asking a rhetorical question to the chat, and the chat can't answer. Chat, let me know what lake effect snow is. This that we're looking at right here, this is a similar concept. So you have very, very cold, right? I'm just going to represent it in the blue airs. Very cold air coming down. Once again, Florida, Sunday and Monday, we're going to have a very strong cold front that's swinging down here, bringing a bunch of cold air over top of the water. And it's the same concept of very cold air going over top of a lake, right? You get lake effect snow, you get the cold air moves over top of that warm air and then creates basically an unstable environment where the warm air at the surface, there's very cold air above it. The warm air then rises, right? Think about when you have a house, right? Warm air tends to rise in your house. That's just a basic concept of thermodynamics here. And so the same thing happens on the ocean here, right? You're going to have very, relatively warm air near the surface of the ocean. You have this cold air moving over top. And so that warm air then rises. As it rises, it will form clouds. As it forms clouds, because it's so cold, some of that will actually fall back to the surface as snow. And so that's how lake effect snow works. And that's exactly what's going to happen here is the air is going to be cold enough that it will create potentially lake effect flurries here. And so that's why if we look at the model, let's go back here to the snow. We could have our first measurable snow here, Stu, since what, 1977?
Yep.
That's crazy. And so, if you're in Tampa, you're not, this isn't crippling snow. We're not talking about inches. We're talking about maybe, quarter of an inch, maybe a little bit more, but still to see snow on the ground in Tampa, Stu, it's crazy.
Yeah, and the Weather Prediction Center on their probability of at least minor winter weather impacts map, it even has a 5% contour risk just north of the Tampa metro.
Wow.
So they are even noting it. And to bring our focus back to the Carolinas and parts of the Delmarva and to the Northeast, the probability of at least moderate winter weather impacts is up to 80% in parts of North and South Carolina, with a massive area of over 50%. I have it pulled up here. Here, let me zoom in for you guys.
Wow.
So this whole entire red area here is over 60%. Even further outside of that, the orange over 50%. Even parts of the Appalachian and Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia there. And then if we pan to the next day, you see it's picking up on areas of Cape Cod here, continued along the coastline up into the Delmarva. So the WPC is definitely, in the middle of the Euro and the GFS, which is where ultimately I think this will end up coming to. I think the GFS is going to have that slight northwest trend, but you never know. Like John was saying, these storms have a tendency to trend northwest at the last minute, so anything can happen still.
Yep, totally. And we saw that happen here with the latest storm. We saw that trend happen. We saw we will see a shift, right? You will see a movement in the models. Now, you could also get a southeast shift too, right? Like that also is in the cards. So we're going to have to watch every single, from now, for the next 48 hours, that's our critical period here where we could get massive shifts. Once we get to Thursday night, once we get to Friday, things will be pretty locked in. There will still be some minor shifts, but the next 48 hours will be crucial in determining who's going to get big snow and who's not. And right now, like that graphic was showing, our Carolina brethren almost at a 90% chance now to get at least 4, 5, 6 inches of snow, and that's straight from the National Weather Service here with that impact, right? We are going to see big time winter impacts for this particular storm. So that's the snowfall, and we still right now, if I had to, based upon the models that I'm looking at and all the models that I've seen, this is your heaviest axis of snow right now. That could shift. That absolutely could shift. And Santo, I did see this. Could this be a big storm for central New Jersey if it does? Yes. This will be a nor'easter. There's not with this storm, we won't have to worry about ice, right? We won't have to worry about ice. We won't have to worry about freezing rain. We won't have to worry about sleet, right? This storm is not going to go like this and pull a bunch of freezing rain on shore. That's not going to happen, right? So it's all snow with this particular storm. It's all snow or nothing. It's snow or bust, right? But if this storm does shift, if the track goes from here to like here, now this heavy snow axis will be right up through here, which I don't think that far of a shift is going to happen. I really don't. I think you're more looking at, southern New Jersey could get in on the action. I think if you're in northern New Jersey, if you're in upstate New York, if you're in Pennsylvania, if you're in interior portions of the Northeast, probably not going to be your storm. But if you're right along the coast, from basically from Boston down through, coastal portions of Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware, that'll be the area that I would be, basically watching for any shifts, right? And if it does shift further west, then you absolutely we'll see more impacts. But if you're outside of that circle, you're likely not. Even if it does shift, it still wouldn't put you in the heart of the snow here, right? Because it's just so far, it's trended so far off the coast here that we would just have to see a massive shift, which isn't impossible, but it is not the most likely outcome here. So massive shout out to Santone, who's given some massive donos here. Hopefully that answered your question, brother.
In order for the snow to come just super far inland, the trough would have to be further north, which means that Gulf effect snow just would not happen. And the models have been picking up on this for quite some time now. I think about almost a week at this point. So I mean, sure, central New Jersey could get in on some heavy snow, but not the heaviest snow.
Yeah, totally. And if you look at this, right, where the heaviest snow is in here, right, you can see near the coast, it's a couple of inches. But then you go, you have to go about, let's just measure it from New Jersey. You have to go about 150 miles away from New Jersey to get to the heart, the meat, right? The juice of the heaviest snow here. So we would have to see a shift in the low of about 140 miles to the northwest, which can happen. It absolutely could happen. But with every model run, our margin of error gets lower. And so, it's unless we start to see some sort of shift in the 0Z models tonight and it starts to go further northwest, it's becoming less and less likely, especially, you go to northern New Jersey, now we're talking about almost 200 miles. So it's just, your chances are going way down the closer we get to the event. Not impossible. Like I said, definitely not impossible, but not the most likely outcome at all. So I want to show you guys real quick the winds, because this end up, along with the snow, this will end up being probably the most impactful part of this. Let's go to the GFS here. I'm just going to give you an idea of the winds with this particular storm. And chat, hey, if you got any questions, let me know in chat right now, because we've got 300, absolutely 300 epic people in our chat. If it's your first time here, guys, make sure you smash that like button and smash that subscribe button, okay? Because we're a relatively small channel. We're just kind of getting going here. So you can do your part by smashing that like button, smash that subscribe button, help contribute to what we're doing here, because we're putting a lot of time and effort for you beautiful brethren in our chat. Let's take a look at the win.
Smash it.
Yeah, we're putting Stu in timeout for that. Stu, you're in timeout for about a minute here for that. I don't know what the hell that was. Okay, let's go to the wins here. Let's take a look. Let's go to the GFS. This could end up being the most impactful part of this storm. On Sunday morning.
33 super chatted $4.99. Valerie, call on me. Valerie, come and see me. I am the same boy I used to be.
Is that a song? I have no clue what that song was. That has to be a song. W in chat for R. Peterson. I have no clue what that was. Someone help me out. I have no clue what song that was. Okay, let's get back to, let's talk about the wins here. Okay. It's a Tinder song? No way. Well, I don't even know what that is. Okay. Let's talk about the wins here. Because these wins, regardless of what happens, will be cranking. You could have a Sting jet on the backside of this storm. You can see right in there, you've got winds. These are actual winds here. The wind gusts, let's go to the wind gusts here. The wind gusts will be even higher. Let me show you the wind gusts. Oh my goodness, we could have winds gusting to hurricane force. We talked about this earlier in the show, but this could end up being the most impactful part of this storm in terms of damage, right? The snow will be pretty, will be falling from the sky. Snow doesn't really do damage unless you're talking about multiple feet here. The winds, though, absolutely, we could be talking about power outages here, especially in coastal portions of Carolina. Even in inland, look at this. We've got tropical storm force winds as far west as Raleigh, right? These are winds gusting over 35 miles an hour here. And so we could have tropical storm winds as far inland as Raleigh, North Carolina here during the height of the storm, Saturday night going into Sunday morning. I need to drink more water. But if we look right along the coast in the Outer Banks here, 71 miles an hour. This is one model, but it's showing you this is the potential of this storm. We know this storm is going to be an absolute behemoth of a bomb cyclone. Right in there, there's where the center is, and winds will be cranking around this thing. Once it starts to get going, it will go through rapid intensification. It's a bomb cyclone, right? Bomb cyclone, 24 millibars in 24 hours. Our storm is going to do that and then some. So, our storm was going to go from 105 millibars to 970s, right? And this is a kind of rapid intensification that happens in a hurricane, right? And it's happening in this nor'easter. So the winds in places like, Devil's Hills, right? In the Outer Banks, hurricane force absolutely could knock out power. And then we're also going to be dealing with coastal flooding, right? For any people that live in coastal portions of Carolina, you guys know, right? This is not new to you, what can happen with these nor'easters, but this will be a especially bad one. So I would not be shocked to see evacuation orders issued for our North Carolina brethren with all of that water being pushed on shore. We could get some storm surge here from this storm. As shocking as that is, we absolutely could get some storm surge here from this particular storm system, as you'll have basically this massive swath of 60 plus winds pushing all of this water right towards, unfortunately, the Outer Banks here. So I would just be ready here. If you're in the Carolinas, the snow is going to be fun, but the wind and the water could be deadly, right? If you stay there, I would not be shocked if we saw blizzard warnings and evacuation orders that could be issued if this storm is going to be as strong as some of the models are predicting. Dover, Delaware, massive W. Let's talk about, that's a good name. Let's talk about deals. What kind of deals are we talking about here? That's what I want to know. How far from the heavy snow? Dover, Delaware, and south. I tell you what, Dover, right in here, you will be right just. You're not going to like what I have to show you here. Let me just give you an example of one model with the particular snow. Right now, Dover, you're outside of the heaviest axis of snow here. So let me pull this up. Here we go. Dover. In some of the latest models that are coming out, you are not in the snow right now. Right? Welcome to the channel, brother. That's right. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button, okay? We're relatively new. We've been at this channel for a long time, the Stormfront Freak Network, but make sure you smash that subscribe button because we're relatively small. Unfortunately, our Dover brethren right now say very little snow. Now that could change. That absolutely could change. But right now, if I compare the models, let's just go through the different runs here. Guys, also, hey, massive W for the super chat. When you super chat, I can see it better and I can give you a more personalized forecast. Massive W there. Let's look at the different models here for Dover. Let's just compare here. And this is a good example for some of the rest of the country here, what could happen. So this is the 18Z. Here, I'll circle Dover so you guys can see it right there. So the latest European, nothing. The latest Canadian, 2 inches. Icon, nothing. European, ensemble, 2 inches. GFS ensemble, 3 inches. So, right now, the models would say that Dover is not going to get much. Having said that, look how close Dover is from the heavy axis of snow here. 70 miles. So all it will take is a 50-mile shift to the north and west, and now Dover's in the heavy snow. That could happen, right? It could happen, but right now, that's not what the models are showing. The models are showing a couple of inches for Dover max. Absolute max. All right, bring back in Stu and Agent Dan here. Let me actually give me 1 second. I'm going to take a quick bio break real quick, guys. While I'm gone, I'm going to play a quick commercial, and then we'll be right back. I'm going to take more of your questions when we come back. I'm going to look at the latest models. I will be right back and take a quick bio break. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. It'll be a minute, guys. Don't go anywhere.
It'll have you blow by the competition. It's got radar, observations, models, all in one epic app. Blow by the competition! Woo!
Weatherfront, the official weather app of the Stormfront Freaks Network.
Dan, tell us a joke. Because I don't have any. Oh no. Is Dan not even here? Oh no. I don't have any jokes, guys. I'm sorry.
And I don't have jokes either.
Oh, Dan is here. But you don't have a joke?
No, but you know who has the best jokes?
Who?
The folks in the chat.
Oh.
Who's got a joke?
Let's see your jokes, chat. I'm all alone in the wilderness. No, I have Dan here. Let me Brady sliding in.
Back.
Wow. Patterson says his life is a joke. Sounds like my life.
That commercial break, we lost about 80 or 70 people. That was crazy.
Oh.
People have such short attention spans. It's insane. I can't even take a minute break. Oh, man.
Something I do want to note from our last storm, there were 5 tornadoes confirmed from it.
In the south?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's crazy.
The highest rated EF1. But we did have 5, 4 of which were in Alabama, and then 1 was in the Florida Panhandle.
Wow. Guys, this is another story that we're watching here. This is in Mississippi, where we are going on 24 hours now plus of the roads being shut down. Look at how far this line goes, right? This is just a line of semi-trucks here. They've had, oh no. Stu, I'm making you full. My screen froze.
Oh. Enjoy a cat. This is Agent Dan if he was a cat.
All right, Dan's going now.
Oh, okay. It's just the same image.
No one needs to see my eyes.
Are you going to protect the president, Dan?
I could potentially protect the president.
What about Brady? Are you going to protect Brady?
I think my earpiece broke up. Would you say?
Oh, I said, are you going to protect Brady?
Protecting Brady, that's a big job. I don't know if I'm up to that task.
It is, because he can't drive.
Okay, I'm back. All right. So, like I was showing, guys, the hold on, button's not working. There we go. This is what the freeway looks like right now in Mississippi, and people. I actually think that's an evacuation that we're looking at live. You see those lights right there? We have people being evacuated from their cars. They've been stuck in their cars for over 24 hours. The temperature right now in Mississippi is 25 degrees. Could you imagine being in your car for 24 hours? You're running out of gas. You probably have run out of gas, and now the temperatures are going. It's 25. That's what's happening right now. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more stories about this, because look at the roads. The roads still look impassable, and that's probably why no one can drive anywhere, especially the trucks, because there's just no way they're going to... Look at these cars. They're going basically 10 miles an hour on the freeway coming south. But
it's good to see we have movement.
It is. In one direction. In the other direction, we have no movement. So...
Well, there were 3 cars that went, but I think all the semis are just stuck.
Yeah,
because I don't think, because normally, like, I know in like Canada, for example, like a lot of semis have chains because they need to get through these tough conditions. But semis that just carry regular routes to the south, they aren't going to have those chains.
No, they're not. Not even close. So these it almost looks like there's a like a cop or something going between cars, like giving people probably snacks, other things like that. That's just absolutely insane here. So that's another thing that we're tracking here. It's just, the last storm. We're just now getting over the last storm, and now we have another storm that we have to worry about. And I would not be shocked by any means if this storm, we see power outages, right? We're probably going to see power outages along the coast in Carolina, maybe in Virginia, where the strongest winds are going to be with this particular system here. All right, let's do a chat check-in. Let's see who we got checking the chat right now. I know we got a lot of regulars. We got a lot of new people in here. So if you're new, put it in chat. I'm curious. Give me the city and state you're checking in from, and I'd love to hear from you, okay? Let me know where you're checking in from, and if you have any questions, go in the chat right now. It's going to get crazy. I'm going to try to get all the cities here. But if it is your first time, too, watching, we're the Stormfront Freaks Network. I am meteorologist Stormcat 5. I am actually a meteorologist, went to Ohio State for 4 years, and now I'm doing YouTube. So if it is your first time here, we've got our channel is great because I'm not the only one, right? We got Dan and Stu and then, Aaron, and we've got Phil and Serena, Dina, Jen. We've got meteorologists across at the Weather Channel. We've got meteorologists I was at AccuWeather for a little bit. We have meteorologists that have been everywhere, right? So we've got a team of storm trackers and meteorologists here on our channel, and this show is the Big Weather Show. So welcome to the show. If it's your first time, thank you for checking in. We got Minnesota.
And I'm studying meteorology right now.
Exactly. And Stu's also in school for meteorology. So we got a whole, unlike, we got a whole channel of meteorologists here. So welcome. San Diego, California, checking in. Virginia Beach. Oh, stiff butt. Okay. That's chalked. Virginia Beach, checking in. Virginia Beach, you will have a close call. It's a snow capital of the world, apparently. Yeah. Well, Virginia Beach, right on that razor edge here. So it's Jonesboro, Arkansas, checking in as well. Harrington, Delaware, our Delaware brethren representing. South Jersey in the chat. Unbelievable here. So chat, keep letting me know where you're checking in from. I'm curious if we have any people in the Northeast here.
Jeremy Hunter M9J super chatted $5. Mike Tomlin retired. Decent snow in North Carolina. 2026 starting out good.
Wow. Mike Tomlin retired. Decent snow in North Carolina. That is, wow. I tell you what, I will say, I don't know what he's going to do now. And I don't know why they're hiring, what is it, Mike McCarthy or whatever. He's going to be chalked. Absolutely chalked. Snow Camp, North Carolina. Checking in. We got a lot of North Carolina and East Coast brethren. Coshocton, PA, checking in the chat as well. So we got people all up and down the eastern seaboard. It seems like the majority of the people here are checking in from New Jersey, from Delaware, from Carolina as well. I think we did a poll earlier, and there was about 20 to 30% of the chat here checking in. Someone said, how much in New Jersey? I tell you what, you're right on the edge. You are right on the edge, our New Jersey brethren, between big snow and nothing. And right now, the models show less for you guys. They show just a couple of inches. But if those trends, guys, keep following. I'll probably either go live tomorrow night or Friday or both. And I'm going to be posting here on a lot of those shorts that I post. I'll keep posting those here on YouTube. And if anything does shift from where it is now, I'll be the first to let you know. You can follow me on Twitter, Stormcat5. I put stuff out on Facebook, here on YouTube, the Stormfront Freak Network. So if you follow me, I will, as soon as those trends start, I'll make a post about it. But right now, the only people in the Northeast that are likely to get heavy snow in the Carolinas, outside of that, you're looking at just a super razor thin margin of error here. So I'll do my best because I've got contacts to the government. I can control the weather here. So I will try to push that snow further up northwest for you.
Don't tell that to Twitter.
Twitter will love that, actually. That will be unbelievable content here. So going back to our cam here still. This has been 24 hours here, and there's absolutely no sign of this stopping here. We're going to keep an eye on that. Also, I'm curious. Let's go here. That's snow reports, power outages. Once again, still, if we look back to the home screen, we still have 314,000 power outages across the United States, with over 200,000 in Mississippi and Tennessee alone. So this is just unbelievable, the amount of power outages that we still have from our last winter storm. And now we've got another one coming. And I would not be shocked right in here. This is where I would say the power outages will be with this particular storm. We could absolutely have power outages in the Carolinas. I would not be shocked to see evacuation orders issued for coastal portions of Carolina as some flooding, storm surge, and strong wind will push water onshore. Blizzard warnings also, I would expect to be issued in the coastal portions of the Carolinas with the combination of heavy snow and that wind that's moving through. Now I'm curious right now. Let's see the hazards. I'm interested to see, have they done any winter storm watches yet? Okay, not yet.
So I think tomorrow they should be.
Okay. So tomorrow is likely when we'll see our winter storm watches issued. I would expect, we're going to get winter storm watches in this region for basically, I would not be shocked to see the entire state of Carolina, North Carolina, and then most of South Carolina will be issued winter storm watches tomorrow. And then from there, we'll have to watch the trends on the models to be able to see how is this going to trend? Is it trending north? Is it trending south? That kind of deal. So we'll see how that does end up trending. Also across the United States right now, what's this scary purple? This extreme cold watch. So we've got extreme cold watches here in Mississippi where unfortunately not a lot of them have power right now. And if we go down here in Florida, we've got freeze warnings down here. This is another big story. Do we have any Florida brother in the chat? If you're a Florida brother and say, I am a Florida brethren, let me know in chat. But this is also another big story. This is going to be probably the most widespread freeze in Florida that we haven't seen this in years now. So this happens. This is not unheard of, but this will be the most widespread Florida freeze that we've seen in several years. And Utah has no snow. I'm sorry to hear that, Storm Chasing Gal. I'm very sorry to hear that. But Florida, you're going to get cold. You're going to get very cold. Let me show you how cold you could get, because this is pretty dramatic here with these temperatures. And let me go ahead and get my pen. Okay, let's look at the models here. Let's go to the GFS model here. Let's go. Let me show you the next couple of days here. And then I'm going to show you the cold for the rest of the country. Friday, things will warm up in Florida. So if you're a Florida brethren, it's snow for South Florida. That's possible. But if you're a Florida brethren, Friday is going to look pretty good. And you're going to be like, okay, we're getting back to normal. Watch this, though. Look at this scary cold coming down from the south. This is Friday night. This is Saturday morning. Look at that thing. Oh, my goodness. By the time we wake up, this is Sunday morning. Look at this. We are talking about below freezing from Pensacola in the Panhandle down here. I think Tampa probably will stay above freezing with the ocean, the warmer ocean kind of helping keep it warm. Southwest Florida also should stay above freezing. But then you go right in here in the interior portions of Florida, all the way down just north of Miami, and then going all the way back up to Jacksonville. That part of the state, right in there. Let me zoom in and I'll show you here. 25 in Orlando, waking up Sunday morning. 30 in Port St. Lucie. 22 in Ocala, Florida. 23 in Gainesville, up in the Panhandle. 27 in Caribou. 26 in Port St. Pete, 24 in Panama City, 24 in Pensacola. So we are looking at a deep freeze. And when you get these kind of events down here, this can destroy vegetation. It can destroy. There's a lot of citrus like lemon or not lemons, limes, oranges are all grown down here. This can have massive impacts on the agriculture community. And also, if we're looking at temperatures in the 20s, we could be talking about some pipes bursting, right? If they get the 20s and teens, that's pipe bursting cold, especially down here in Florida where they're not prepared for it, right? So 100%, you got to sleep in sweatpants and a hoodie. Some of these people down in Florida don't even have AC units. They don't even have heat, right? Like there's a lot of, especially Southern Florida, they don't even install heat. They don't even install furnaces on some of these homes. And so our Florida brethren will be absolutely frigid, like the rest of us, come Saturday and Sunday. Sunday morning is when the coldest air is going to arrive. Things do improve Sunday during the day, but then Sunday night, it gets cold once again, below freezing in Orlando. Things don't warm up till about Monday. And warm up is a strong word here because high temperatures will only be in the 50s here. So we're not talking about 80s, which I went down to Florida a couple weeks ago. It was 80 the whole time. Now we're looking at 40s, 50s, and maybe 60 if you're down there in Miami. So unbelievable cold. And I mean, Stu, maybe while I'm talking, just look up when the last time this has happened. I'm curious when the last time an event like this has happened. And I'm curious. Dan, you can look that up too.
Let me take a look at Florida cold waves. See if I can find anything.
While he's talking, go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say the National Weather Service may have put the cheat code in their forecast discussion.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So it looks like Arctic snap across. It's going to be the coldest Arctic snap across South Florida since December of 2010.
Okay.
I was 3 years old, to put that into perspective.
That's crazy. So guys, to give you an idea, this is the coldest snap of weather. This is the coldest Arctic outbreak that we've seen since 2010. Like, we just had a winter storm. That was a once in a decade winter storm. I'm not saying it's unbelievable. It could happen again in the next decade, but that last winter storm was a big one. And now we're having a basically once in a decade cold event that we're witnessing down in Florida. So very, big time weather ongoing in the U.S. And that cold will be much more widespread than Florida. We're talking about temperatures, dangerous wind chills this weekend. A lot of these areas, I actually think the models are underdoing this cold, especially in Ohio and Pennsylvania and in Indiana, Illinois, where we have a foot of fresh snow on the ground. These temperatures that we're looking at here, these are actual temperatures. Let me give you an idea. -1. Let's go back a little bit here and let me show you how cold things get. This is Saturday morning. These are actual temperatures. -16. Here, Stu, that's us, right? That's literally where I live. 16.
I'm moving.
It's the Arctic. We're talking about literally the Arctic here,
Hold
guys.
on. While that's pulled up, go look at Alaska real quick. I'm just curious. Wow. We're going to be Alaska.
Colder, actually.
I don't like that.
Colder. That's right. The only area that I'm finding that's colder is up here in I can't even go that far north on the map, guys. I literally can't go that far north. It's the same temperature as it is in northern portions near the Arctic, getting up into the Arctic here, than it is down here in Ohio and in Pennsylvania. And this is all just a unbelievably cold air mass. I can tell you this right now, guys. If you have a house that is anywhere in this region, I'm just going to circle it from Minnesota all the way through the Northeast. Just look up online, ChatGPT, use some AI, or just Google search how to winter-proof your house. Because this kind of cold, how widespread it is, we're going to see so many people with their pipes just explode, right? Dan, what do you got to do to your pipes again?
Well, here in Texas, when it gets freezing, we have to drip our faucets. We have to have some sort of water flowing through the pipes.
That's right. You got to make sure water it's flowing through those pipes. So there's things you can do. I'm not a pipe expert, right? I'm a meteorologist, not a pipe expert, but you can do small things like open your cabinets, let water drip through the pipe, and do that. That's right. Protect your pipes. Wrap the pipes, people. That's right, Kevin. So this is pipe bursting cold here, and these are your actual temperatures. Watch this. Wind chills. Unbelievable. This is how it will actually feel outside. We're talking about near negative 30 in Ohio. In Pennsylvania, negative 20. In the Northeast, negative 20. In the Midwest here, close to negative 30, like negative 35 right there. I also could approach negative 40. Let's check the European. With the yikes, close to negative 30 in Ohio. I'll be honest, guys. I was going to go, I play hockey. I was going to go play some hockey Saturday morning on the ponds, but not doing it now because this is not only cold, but this is deadly type of cold. I mean, I went outside for a little bit, a couple days ago, and I started getting hypothermia, right? I started getting hypothermia in about, a couple of minutes. So this kind of cold is it can be deadly. And so don't mess around with it. Go outside. If you're going to go outside, make sure everything is covered.
At Nathan Liana's 5,720 super chatted $5. Spray everything with antifreeze.
I don't actually know if that will work, brother Nathan.
That's how you get the neighborhood cats.
No way. Okay. I don't know if that will work. Can someone verify that in chat? I'm not sure if you can just spray everything with antifreeze. It's not a bad strategy. That is for sure here. But I tell you what, guys, the bottom line here is, regardless of what happens with this storm, we are going to be talking about stupid cold. It will be just absolutely stupid cold from Minnesota and Wisconsin all the way down in Oklahoma City, even down into Mississippi, and then even in the Northeast. Massive cold right in there. And, the wind chills that we're talking about on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, someone could get close to negative 40. I would not be shocked if someone got close to negative 40 here, as that fresh snow and clear skies just cause things to, get unbelievably cold. So don't, new poll coming in hot. Who's a fan? Is anyone a fan of this cold? Does anyone actually like it getting this cold? Dan, do you like it getting this cold?
It's not exciting, no.
No. Stu, what about you? Oh, no. Chalked.
I hate it.
Yeah.
My internet also hates it.
Yeah. Stu's internet hates it
no.
so much he keeps having to
chalked.
leave. It's not good. Well, so guys, we talked about basically everything I was wanting to talk about. Stu or Dan, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, just everyone stay safe.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, just what we're going to do is we'll see. I might go live tomorrow night. I'll probably be live Friday night. I'm going to put out a forecast video here on YouTube probably tomorrow, depending on if I have time. And I'll continue to put out those shorts. So keep an eye here on our YouTube page, which if it's your first time here, smash that subscribe button. We are almost at 15,000 subscribers here. So smash that subscribe button, get us to 15,000. And as a thank you, I will keep putting out an unbelievable amount of content here. So massive shout out. Oh, Dan's about to yawn. Nope, he did. I thought he was going to do it. So if you do like what you're seeing, guys, make sure you become a subscriber to this channel. And I will keep putting out these shorts. I'll keep putting out these videos. If you like those videos, let me know in the chat if you like those videos I've been putting out. I'll keep putting those out as much as I possibly can. And I'll also try to put out a forecast video tomorrow here on YouTube for you guys to check out the latest models. Because what's going to happen over the next 24 hours is we will see shifts. We will see small shifts in the models. We will see different areas that maybe come under the snow. Maybe it shifts to the east. Maybe it shifts to the west. Both of those are possible. And I will let you know here on YouTube, as well as over on Twitter, Facebook, and all the goodie stuff there. So massive shout out to everyone that joined us. Guys, also, if you do want to be a part of our team here, become a member, right? Become a member of our awesome channel. Mama G just became a member. We do this for free, right? We give all of this information. I basically do this for free. There's no subscription to access this content. So if you do like what you're seeing, you do want to support us, become a member. I'm trying to do this full time here, and I need to do this full time. I need a bunch of people to be on the supporter list. So massive shout out to all of our existing subscribers, supporters. All of you are doing unbelievable. All right, round table here. Final thoughts. Dan, any final thoughts from you, brother?
take this seriously if you're in the path or likely to see winter weather. Take it seriously. Get your preparations in place.
That's right. Make sure we take care of those pipes. Make sure you prepare for the storm and get ready. Stu, any final words from you, brother?
Yeah, just stay safe during the cold. I would say if you're anywhere in the Carolinas this weekend, possibly up into the DMV, the southern DMV at least, I would say don't travel this weekend for sure. It's safe to say that the impacts in the Carolinas and the DMV look pretty consistent at this point. So I would just keep an eye on the forecast for any shifts, especially if you're further into the Northeast, places like Boston, New York City, areas like that. Keep an eye on those shifts. I would again go to stores, stock up, just on some necessities that you might need just in case you are snowed in for a couple of more days again.
Yeah, it's great advice. This is, there will be some potential areas that do get, huge dono there. Kevin just sent 5 memberships. Welcome to all the new members from Kevin. That is a massive donation. Oh, yeah. From Kevin. Kevin with the 5 membership bomb. Are you kidding me? Oh, my goodness. Massive shout out to Kevin. And also, massive shout out to, I believe it was Julie early on. Or no, sorry, Jen. Early on in the show here, Jennifer Wright, who gave us $100 on PayPal. Are you kidding me, Jen? That's amazing because that goes right to YouTube. Takes a third of the super chats. This PayPal goes right to the bottom line here. So massive shout out to Kevin, massive shout out to Jennifer, and everyone else that gave. We got Nathan, we got Jeremy, we got Let's Talk About Deals. We got R. Patterson, Brother Santino, Pain Chaser, who's shocked. Mama G became a new member. Connor Croft hopped in, gave a membership. Tracy Lee became a new member. Carly with the 2 bomb and R. Patterson with the 4 bomb. Massive shout out to everyone. Massive shout out to our members. Massive shout out to our mods, guys. Carly and Mama G and Fuzzy. They're here every single time. Massive shout out to those brethren in chat. Our mods are the best here on YouTube. Huge shout out to all of you that are watching from home. Guys, we are wrapping. And here's what I got to say, because it was an epic show for an epic storm. I'm going to be watching this like an absolute hawk, okay? I'm going to be looking at the trends. I'm going to be looking at the latest models. And every time something changes, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know. That's just how it is. I'm going to put some music to it, so that you guys can be interested and have fun while watching it. And then I'm going to let you know. And every video I put out, guys, make sure you read the description, because I put let me just go back to one of my tweets here. I put a lot here in the description. So if you do see a video from me, look at the description, because there's a lot of really good information in that description.
A lot of people are saying check Discord. I think we have photos.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, look at some photos for here real quick. Hold on. Good call. Let's look at some photos from Discord. Thank you for that catch, Brother Stu.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying check Discord and chat. So here you guys go.
Okay. Fantastic. All right, let's look at our Discord. By the way, we do have a Discord. And if you do want to join, one of our mods, place that link in the chat if you do want to join our Discord. This is where you can get special behind-the-scenes access. I'll be on there chatting a lot from time to time. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's look at the on-stream media. This is where we okay. What the hell? What the hell is this? What the hell is that?
That's a beaver bee.
You know what? This right here, this picture is why RAM prices are through the roof. If you're buying a new computer, Mason generated this. This is why computer prices are insane right now, because of this.
Looks like a bumblebeaver.
Oh, there you go.
This is from Amanda. Oh my goodness.
What is that?
That is a massive burrito.
Who is eating that much burrito?
Okay, no one says we're eating it all in one go. You can take it to go here. That's Amanda's dad had that. Are you kidding me? That is a huge burrito. That is bigger than my head. And I've got a big head. Here is a picture from Luna Light, who got some snow here. Wow, look at that. Boom. Luna Light. Looks like she got about 6 inches. Wow. This is from Germany. Luna Light got 6 inches of snow in Germany. Just beautiful. Okay. Who did this? Who did this?
Bro, what?
This would never happen. Connor could... Okay, it's AI. Confirmed. You see that? AI. Confirmed. That never happened, guys. That is fake. That is completely fake. Connor could never dunk over me. I would reject him. Who did this? Oh my, it's Guitar Frog. Okay. This is so wrong. This is AI once again. 100% AI. I was not holding a log. That's right.
Where'd you get those pajamas?
I did not. It's AI. This is fake.
I didn't even realize the pajamas.
Cat and wolf chases. She said, "This one is for you, Brady. I think it's a train." Yes. She sent me a picture of a train.
What is that random building?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to focus on the train here. Massive W here to Cat. This is Kelsey. Kelsey, who hates snow. This is a before picture of the snow. After. Wait, that doesn't look like that much. Kelsey, there's no way that you didn't get this much. Oh, wait. Hold on. Look on the side. That's where it all is. See that? Here's the before. Nothing. This has all been plowed, but look at that. Just dumpage.
Where is this?
The Northeast. I think somewhere. Kelsey,
Oof.
isn't this like in Connecticut or something like that? I believe.
Looks like it drifted up a
Nashua,
little bit too.
18. Say that again, Dan.
I was going to say it looked like it drifted up a little bit too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that was a plow that probably plowed that like that.
Okay.
Nashua, 18 inches of snow. Kelsey, is that what you got? Are you kidding me? Kelsey hates snow. Oh, New Hampshire. Okay. Yikes. That is, wow. Look at that. Just buried. Absolutely buried. That's
that
awesome.
was basically Columbus.
Yeah. Cat chases here. Another picture here. 10 to 12. Once again, also buried. Trying to dig out of her yard. Sarah got 6 to 8 in Missouri. Look at that. Nice footprint there to give us some perspective. Wow. Amanda, what is this? Here is a pilated woodpecker. Wait, there it is. Look at the woodpecker.
Oh.
That's Stormpecker 73.
No.
Or wait. Yeah, that's
that's
never
going to
mind.
end up in a meme. Check Discord for that one too.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that was unintentional. We're just moving on. Stu, 17 inches here in Ohio, and just a blockbuster. No, we're moving on. We're moving on, Stu. R. Patterson here. Wow, look at this picture. Where's that from, R. Patterson? Okay. That's someone's flag. Okay.
What is that, bro?
I don't know. The important thing here, about 9 inches, it looks like. About 9 inches. No, dude, got chat. If you put that into AI, I'll just be honest. I'm not showing it because it won't be good. I will not. I'm not showing it. Okay. Okay. Guitar Frog he's out of control. Okay. Yep. Yeah. That's not real.
though.
Once again, not real. He's photoshopping. By the way, anyone that didn't see, I rode a chair over the weekend. You see this couch right here. This is real. I rode that chair on the back of a car. Wouldn't recommend it. And don't do this. Do not do it. Do not do it. Whatever you do, don't do it. Just don't do it. Canadian mailbox. Okay. That's pretty funny. That's right. These are our mailboxes here. These are our mailboxes in the Northeast. Mama G, Mother Nature is off her meds. I think I might have showed this picture the last time, to be honest. Yes, I did.
Yeah, that one was on stream when I was walking around.
Yes, that's right. Wow. This was from Ohio. Level 3 snow emergency. The first time in, what is it, like 20 years in Ohio that they issued?
It was the first time ever.
I'm pretty sure they issued, I don't know. I have to check on that.
So in 2008, there was miscommunication between Sheriff Dallas Baldwin and some other authority.
Okay.
And they issued a level 3 snow emergency for Franklin County. However, it was immediately withdrawn like 5 minutes later because of the miscommunication. So there was never an official issuance, but I mean, I guess it did get issued, but again, never official.
Okay, got it. Wow. Let's taco about deals is joining Discord. Let's go. Welcome to the family, brother. Join this. We have an unbelievable community. They are incredible. It's if you think we have fun on stream, just wait till you see what happens in Discord. Pure insanity. All right. Let's go back, see if any more pictures from the chat. Okay. Baby goats. Mama G, baby goat. Wow.
That's goated.
Oh, everyone say it together. Aww.
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 Aww. Goat.
Big. What's that? Who had that ready? Who had that goat sound effect ready? That's insane.
That was me with my actual voice.
Big Nate. Okay. Nate. Big Nate of the big time just sent this picture. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic Big Nate of the big time. Just beautiful. Beautiful
look
picture.
at those eyes. Those eyes
Yeah.
are just precious.
No, they're creepy. This thing would literally gnaw your face off.
Can someone Photoshop this on the top of Brady's head, please? Thanks.
Nope. No, you can't. It's gone. All right, that's the last pictures we got, chat. Unless I missed something. I think that was all the pictures that we got. All right, chat. Okay. This is crazy. All right. Well, chat, that's all we got today. Okay? My Twitter is broken for some reason. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to wrap. Let's see. Is there anyone to raid? Is there anyone online right now? Let's just see. I always try to find someone to raid before I end. See if there's anyone on. And there's no one. That doesn't surprise me. Okay. We're just going to wrap. Chat, thank you so much for being here. It was an epic show. I'll let you know soon if I can go live tomorrow. If I do go live tomorrow, it'll be probably earlier, maybe around like 5. Huge shout out to everyone that joined today. It was an unbelievable show. Massive shout out to everyone that donated. All of our new members, all of our new subscribers. Welcome to the family. This is the Stormfront Freaks Network. We've got an unbelievable past of a podcast. That's how we started, was a podcast. The podcast is epic. So if you want to go look at the episodes of the past episodes of the podcast, I said episodes, I can't say it. If you want to go look back at the episodes, scroll down on our YouTube page. You can see past episodes. It's unbelievable. And now we're live weather. So huge shout out to everyone that joined us today. From all of us here at the Stormfront Freaks Network, thank you for joining. From Stu, from Dan, from Aaron, who joined us as a guest, And he's a Stormfront freak as well. From Jen, Dina, Serena, Phil, MJ, John, Brother John, co-founder of Weatherfront. We had a great show today. That's all we got. What I want you to do is find someone. Tell them you love them. Give them a big hug. Do something nice for someone today. If all of us do something nice for someone, think about the impact we can have. Help someone shovel a driveway. Help your neighbors get some groceries. Just be a good person. We need more of that in this world. That's all I got. It's the Stormcat 5. I'll see you on the next one. Sing with me, I call this the bomb cyclone rising. Pressure's falling off the coast tonight. Ocean boiling under city lights. Models screaming, barometers dive. This bomb cyclone is coming alive. Aaron Rigby locked on storm. Cameras ready as the winds deform. Dan's voice steady, calm and clear. Folks, this thing's intensifying here. Bomb cyclone spinning fast. Northeast bracing for a brutal blast. From crashing waves to blinding snow, this storm means business that we know. Stu's tracking bands from shore to shore. He says these wind gusts, they're gonna roar. Snow wrapping around the backside flow. Whiteout conditions starting to grow. John from Weatherfront pulls up the view. He said radar's models lining up too. Cold air crashing and the rain clips of snow. This is textbook bombogenesis, it goes. Bomb cyclone spinning, pressure fall. Powerful winds and coastal walls. From inland snow to shoreline spray. The Northeast feels it in every way.